Hello and welcome. Hopefully we're streaming okay. How is everyone doing? We're on a little bit early, so let's make sure this is working okay. Hopefully people actually join us tonight. It's such nice weather outside. I was wondering if people actually come on and watch, but yeah. How is everyone doing? Thanks for joining me. Hey Empire, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Yeah, I'm back in the UK, so back on another live stream. A bit of a last minute announcement, but anyway, not very well organised at the moment. Just realised to myself I had to set my camera up and everything again, so yeah, hey Berts, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Evening to you too. Hey Wes, how's it going? Thank you. Back on the stream. Yeah, I'm gonna try and get back to these a little bit more regularly. Although I say that every time, but no, I'm planning on doing it. So but yeah, actually the chat seems to be working okay on this one, so cool. Hey, Wise, how's it going? Wise Society Leo, I'm good, thank you. Cheers. Glad to be back in the UK. Hey Zara, hey Nathan, hey James, hey Kevin. Thank you for joining us. Looks like we've got a good group of people on. So we'll do a bit of sourcing, I guess, on Qogita. You know I love Qogita. I actually got some interesting news. Actually, I saw an email today through on Qogita, but and we'll just probably just do some chatting and Q&A and stuff like that. So the sound is echoey. It might be my room, to be fair. Is it echoey for everyone else? Let me know. Yeah, it might be the room's a little bit echoey, so I'll have to fix that for next time. I'm trying to think how I can. Yeah, it's just it might be because I need to put some more stuff in the room, get some of the. Oh dear. Okay. Okay. There's not much I can do with that now. Sorry about that. I'll fix that for next time. um, yeah, maybe I can turn down. Sounds more like a mic problem than the room problem. Okay, interesting. Interesting. Oh, 1 second. Is that better? That's why. I think I fixed it. Yeah, that should be better now. Yeah, okay. I think I had two. I accidentally turned on the other mic, so that should fix it now. We should be good. Yeah, sorry about that. Last minute setups. I was just looking at my volume, and I was like, "Why are there two volumes going along?" And obviously the short, and then the other microphone as well. So my bad. There you go. Thank you for letting me know. Phew. I'm glad I sorted that. I'll tell you what, I'm already sweating. It's so warm in here. We need to get like an aircon unit installed. How did everyone's maze go anyway? Was it, I'm trying to remember the month. God, everyone sell lots of stuff and make lots of money. Hopefully on Amazon. Yeah, hopefully you guys. I think what did I make? Not as much. I mean, I think I posted it in the results in the Discord server. Oh, today's going pretty well. So a nice sale for £19.71 profit, 20 quid. Not too bad. Previous month. So my results aren't as good as I'd like, but they are creeping up slowly. So 3668 profit. So not too bad really. Yeah, sorry about that, Bert and everyone. Yeah, I see what the problem was. Just remind me when I switch scenes to fix the mic as well, because I think if I switch scenes, it's going to be broken again. But yeah, we'll fix. Don't worry, I'll keep an eye on it. But yeah, so not too bad really. But man, authenticity claims that go unresolved really do hurt your account. Yeah, I had two of them. One's now disappeared. So just to confirm, they disappear after 180 days exactly. And my other one should be gone in like 12 days. So then hopefully my buy box percentage will start going up again. But I already noticed a big difference just with one of them dropping off. So yeah. Brother, be my personal Amazon store consultant and mentor. Well, it's funny you say that. I am going to start doing mentoring. So I actually mentioned it in my driving vlog, but I've not actually edited that and released that yet. So I need to do that one. But yeah, so I guess I can talk about it here. I wasn't planning on doing it, but okay. But yeah, I am going to do mentoring. If people want to do like one-on-one mentoring, I guess we can talk about it now if we want. You guys know I've been very reluctant to do mentoring, mainly because it's like a huge responsibility to take someone's money and teach them, you know. But yeah, I'm going to be doing mentoring, and so if anyone's interested, you can like DM me or whatever. It's going to be £3,000 for basically 3 months of mentoring. However, because it's a learning process, I'm going to be learning, you're going to be learning. I'm going to do the first 5 people are going to be half price basically. So, but that, with the caveat that it's going to be, we'll be learning, as we go basically. So, if someone's interested in that, and what I want to do basically is going to be a combination of one-on-ones, which are obviously very important to come up with plans for people, and obviously get that one-on-one time. You'll be getting that, but also I want to do group sessions because I actually think networking and talking to other sellers is super important. So talking to other people is really important. So that's another. It's going to be group and one-on-ones basically. But yeah, because it's going to be a bit of a learning curve for me. Obviously, I've done teaching and mentoring. But I can't talk. I did 2 calls today, but doing like a full-on sort of curriculum, there'll be a bit of a learning curve for me on that one. So anyway. If people are interested, people ask me all the time, but then whether actually people will actually want to do it is another thing, really. So who knows? Rianne's just done a cheeky Qogita order. Nice. So yeah, Qogita, we'll get onto them in a minute, I suppose, and do some sourcing. I got an email today saying that I've ordered Weleda in the past, Weleda, the brand. And now that there's a bunch of stuff available on there, and they're doing brand direct, so the brand obviously done a deal with Qogita. So we'll probably see more of that coming on, where they do a direct brand deal. Now the only problem is it wasn't very profitable, but it's interesting that they did that anyway. So just adds to, I guess, legitimacy of Qogita. Shows that they're obviously constantly improving. They're talking to brands. They're doing a few other bits that I can't mention as well, things like that. So they're constantly trying to improve and grow the business, which is really interesting. So yeah. So Empire's saying, have you managed to solve any of your auth claims? So I solved 99.9% of my auth claims, absolutely fine. The 2 that I had were and the problem I ran into, and it's a lesson I learned, because I didn't realize this was going to be a big problem until it happened. I took a 3-pack of an item, and I split them and sold them individually, mainly because the sales per month, I was like, I can sell them quicker. In hindsight, I should have kept them together. Then got an auth claim on one of them. And then obviously I submitted my invoice for the 3-pack for a single item, and then they wouldn't accept it. So trying to explain, basically Amazon don't like you splitting products. So I don't know what they're like when it comes to combining stuff, probably a bit better. But when it comes to splitting products, they don't like it. And basically when I'm saying, well, here's the individual bottle, and I can't see my hands, here's the individual bottle that the person bought, here's the invoice showing the 3-pack. Getting Amazon person to understand that just isn't possible. So I tried, they wouldn't accept it. I knew they'd go after 6 months. And turns out, yes, it's 180 days. So yeah, so it's fine. It did hurt my buy box percentages though, 100%. So need to say, Leo's saying need to save more money to get in. That sounds good. Yeah, I don't know. I'll be like the first 5 people, probably that price. It's a bargain price, to be honest. But yeah, so yeah, and then I say probably need to come up with like a solid curriculum, but it's something we'll work on together as we do it. But yeah. Lewis then got the email too. They mentioned today they're trying to work closely with brands. Yeah, exactly. So that's a really important thing they're going to be doing. Now, obviously, the most important thing is, 2 kind of important things actually. I need to actually speak to them. One, that the price is going to be good because, in theory, the prices should be better because obviously the brand's cutting out a middleman, or they might just be looking at it to make more profit per unit. I don't know. So the prices obviously need to be reflective for Amazon sellers. The other one as well, but obviously like brand authorization will be very important actually, where they allow you to have brand. Actually, there's an interesting thing I might say to them actually. Right now when you buy on Qogita, you get the little icon that shows you that it's a marketplace invoice. It'd be interesting if they had a like a B icon which says brand direct, so you're getting it direct from the brand. That would be killer, actually. And obviously, as well, the marketplace invoice. Because that would be so sick, knowing you're getting it direct from the brand and that they'll give you an invoice or authorization. That would be absolutely killer. Interesting. They just need to sort the prices out. So, but yeah, that would be really good, actually, if you're getting direct from the brand. See, I've not processed it all yet because I only saw the email like an hour ago. So, yeah. But the main thing really is Qogita is just on an upward trajectory in terms of what they're doing. And yeah, it's really exciting stuff, to be fair. Do you ever order from suppliers without a marketplace? No, 99% of the time I don't. Have I got like a 22 on the top right hand side. That's so weird. Oh, I don't know what that is. Anyway, no, unless it's some sort of killer deal. Let's say it's, I don't know, so a bottle of Armani's normally meant to be 50 quid a bottle, and suddenly it's like £10 a bottle. In that case, I would chance it because the profit is just ridiculous, and I can always eBay it. But if it's just a regular deal, 20-30% ROI, nah. It has to have the invoice for me, but only if it's like a really good deal. So, but yeah, so catch up with the chat. Do you just brute force the auth claims? Just keep sending invoices. To be honest, most of the time they accept it pretty much first time. I think a few times I've had to send it more than once, but it'd be interesting if I kept record of all these, basically, of how, but obviously I'm not that organised. But yeah, the majority of them are accepted first time. Every now and then I'd say, so if I said 90% are accepted first time, and the times that don't get accepted first time, I'd say, 99% of the time they're accepted the second time. So yeah, I'm trying to think of any ones I've had major issues apart from these ones. But that's because I split them and the invoice doesn't match up to the item I sold. So that's why it's such a big problem. That's why. But yeah, normally don't have any issues. IP claims as well, fight those all the time. Parallel import. I got a parallel import the other day with TP-Link, by the way. So that was an interesting one. So I bought that was an A2A. It was an A2A UK to UK. Got a parallel import on it, and obviously Amazon invoice just snapped, instantly fixed. So those are all easy to fight. To be fair, it's just sometimes sometimes can be a pain, but the majority of the time are fine. Oh, cool. Yeah, number of views. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. Yeah. You know more about my setup than I do. It's been a while. I'm obviously on my older computer now, which hadn't been touched for like 3 months. So back in my office. Yeah, no, I'd forgotten basically. Just bought some new equipment from my office as well to do more filming. I'm going to turn this into, obviously got like the streaming workstation here. I'm going to be turning half of it into like a filming studio, a proper one. It's a bit cramped, to be honest. So I actually just viewed a house at 5:30 today, because I want to get a house and turn one of the rooms or two of the rooms into filming studios, like dedicated. But for now, this will have to do, and I'll have to pull that desk out and sit at that desk and film. When I'm doing, I just have to make do basically with this limited space I've got. But yeah, I just bought a bunch more stuff. The amount of money I spend on making videos is insane. Like I just bought, I've got this microphone, by the way. It's like 500 quid, but I just bought this one as well, an NTG3. This was like £600, but it's meant to go like when I'm doing my videos above, so you can't see the microphone. But then obviously the sound quality is going to be excellent. So I spend a lot of money on making sure my stuff is good quality and the best quality. So yeah, I just bought all the stuff for that basically. So I just need to set that up. Yeah, it cost me a fortune, to be honest, to do all this stuff. But I want to produce the best quality videos possible when I'm doing them. So yeah, that's why I've got the 2 camera angles now, and the amount of money I spent actually on making videos, insane. But yeah, so I'm going to go back to the Balwinder. Thank you for joining us, Balwinder Singh. What are the best products to order from Qogita when starting FBA? So I was actually speaking to someone earlier, and they said, what are the best products to sell on Amazon FBA? The best products are the ones you can make a profit on. So basically, you're looking for price drops, essentially. So OA, Qogita, even wholesale, actually, to a certain extent, you're looking for special offers. You're looking for discounts. So that is what you're looking for, basically, and that can be anything. And I'd also say to people, try not to get bottlenecked into what most people do. Now, obviously, Qogita is health and beauty mostly, so you're fine. And video games and toys and video games are very popular and things like that. But there's so many other things you can sell on Amazon, like camera gear or, I don't know, light switches, shelving units. Like, just look around your house and think, what could I get on Amazon? And there's all those opportunities there. But essentially, things are on offer you can buy low enough to sell for a profit, essentially, that you are allowed to sell. That's the best way to go about it, rather than going in with like a specific, I'm going to buy this brand or whatever, because that's where it gets tricky. Trying to find those items. So does Amazon accept normal Qogita orders for what? So if you're talking about non-marketplace invoices, just Qogita invoices, they should accept it for authenticity claims. I'd say you probably got a 90% chance of getting through with Qogita only invoice on authenticity claims, but having that supplier invoice is always nice because oftentimes they'll come back, say they want supplier. But yeah, for ungating, I personally have literally no luck ungating with Qogita invoices or the marketplace invoices. So I always just use the regular stores like Notino or whatever. But I know people who have ungated literally like the premium brands like Paco Rabanne and whatever else. But I can't remember. What was it? Paco Rabanne? There's another one as well. Not Versace. Although I think people have done that as well. But yeah, people literally ungated the best brands with just Qogita invoices. So yeah, this was like maybe 6 months ago, 8 months ago, before Amazon got like super strict. But yeah, so it depends on what you're asking about, what they'll accept or not. What happened to your streaming equipment in Dubai? I got myself another suitcase from Amazon, an Amazon basic suitcase, packed it up and took it home with me. So it's one of these microphones here. I've now got 2 of them. I have just loaned one to my younger brother because he wants to do coding videos now. So I said, here, you can have the best gear. And you've got no excuses. You should have the best sound, and as long as you don't mess up the settings like I did. And yeah, so I've lent him that to him basically. But yeah, there's actually nothing wrong with having the microphone on camera, and I will have it for these like live streams and stuff. But when it comes to videos, it just looks a little bit more professional if the camera's off camera. If the microphone is off camera. So yeah, we'll see. So I'm going to have 2 camera, actually technically going to be 3 camera angles. So I'm going to be doing some top down stuff as well. And the face on to the side. It's going to be trying to level up. The only problem is when you level all this stuff up, it takes 10 times longer to film and like plan. So that's the only, so I do need to find a balance of like churning the videos out to getting those 1 a week videos and also keeping the quality up. But yeah. But yeah, I took it all with me basically for the most part. I did leave some stuff there, but like tripods and things like that. So Bert's saying you must be staying in Blighty for 3 more years. That is the plan for now, yes. I've got no plans to move to Dubai in the short term anymore. So I did enjoy Dubai, apart from when the weather got horrendous. I actually detested it in those sort of last 2 weeks that I was there, maybe 3 weeks, just because the weather was just horrible. You couldn't go outside during the day, couldn't go outside during the night, like for doing any exercise or anything like that. You could obviously go and sit outside, like doing any activities. But yeah, in the long term, maybe mid to long term, I might do. Anyway, should we do some sourcing, or do you want me to just carry on talking? Let's do some sourcing, shall we? So let me just move this over here, and like it, buy it, love it. Like it, buy it, love it. Thank you for joining us, by the way. Evening, just wanted to thank you for wealth of knowledge and help on your videos. Thank you. No problem. Happy to help. Let me move this back over here. So it actually looks like I'm looking at the screen. Started Amazon FBA, just done 7 days and 200 in sales. Not massive. Hey, look, we all start from somewhere, and that's a great start, to be fair. So yeah, that's great. And then you realise when you can make £1,000, all you need to do really to get to 10,000 is just 10x what you're doing. Very simplistic, but it's actually not in a way. It's simplistic, but that's true, to be fair. Just keep it up, keep churning that money on Amazon. That's all you got to do. Keep the money reinvested, keep churning, keep building up your capital, keep buying, keep selling, and then you'd be surprised where you are in 2 or 3 years. So a number of people posting crazy numbers in my group, by the way, is insane. Like people, let's have a look quickly. So yeah, someone posted 8,886 profit, insane. 7,886 as well. That's weird. No, it's the same number minus 1,000. Obviously, my paltry is 3,667. No, it says 67 there. Weird. Previous month. Yeah, I've made an extra £1 apparently, or like 5p actually. And then yeah, 5,500. Good to see these numbers basically. People are doing really well. So £500 for RS25. Doing great, to be honest. So anyway, let's undo some sourcing. So I'm just moving this over here. Let's go to talking head. I need to make sure, yeah, the sound is okay. Let me just maximize this. Let's zoom in a little bit. And yeah, cool. Let's have a look and see if there's any deals today. So I hope you guys can see the screen okay. Probably should, yeah, we're okay, cool. Right, so first thing, again, I'm going to do, and we'll just do some sourcing for like half hour, and we can go back to talking. But you can ask questions as we're going through as well. There's no problem whatsoever. So I'm looking for sort of like a minimum £1 profit. We'll start with 15% ROI. I don't want to exclude anything, which is like really fast selling. Exclusions, we'll get rid of the ones without buy box. So we'll do that filter, and then this is pretty much what I always do, by the way. I don't know if you guys use any kind of different filtering or different methods. But those are kind of the baseline filters I will use. And then what I'll do is I'll order by confirmed monthly sales. So I'm looking for those really fast selling items. And we really need to get rid of this brand out of here, Rose Leak. However, it also gives me a chance to show you my brand new extension as well. So if we click on that, yeah, we can see here. So, and actually you guys can see it in action now as well. So let me just zoom in quickly. So for those who don't know, I launched OA Hero, a Chrome extension. So it's basically added this check GTI info button here. So you can do an EAN search on this. It's also got the restricted tag here as well, because this is a restricted brand. And it also works on other sites like John Lewis and things like that. So, but yeah, that's that basically. So if you want to check that out, and anyone who's bought it, I really appreciate that, by the way. I need to obviously keep improving it and put that update out. But yeah, that shows you this brand's restricted, so it keeps you out of trouble. Basically, that's one thing on Qogita, is that the OA Hero. This is up here, by the way. So you don't actually need to click on it, by the way, when you're on Qogita. You can just essentially it just runs in the background. It'll insert the button. It'll insert the restricted. But yeah, but when you're on like sites like John Lewis or Sports Direct, you need to click on it to get the information. But yeah, basically, if you guys want to, a terrible introduction, by the way, for Qogita. So what I'm doing here essentially is I'm using Qogita, which is the platform here. It's a marketplace for wholesalers. I'm using Qogita Price Drops, which monitors Qogita for price drops. Because as you can see, there's 500 suppliers, there's 500,000 products. Price drops happen, basically. Things drop down in price, sometimes a penny, sometimes 50, 60, 70%. And we're trying to buy those items when they're on sale. And then I'm using any of those price drops and putting them into Arbisource. So, yeah, that's essentially what we're doing here. Like its hardest parts of far has been gating everything, it feels. So yeah, Amazon is tough for new sellers, don't get me wrong, because you are gated in a lot of the top brands. Things will start to unlock after, I think it's 3 months of sale. So start selling after 3 months or so. Things will make it easier. You're still going to have to ungate the premium brands, but a lot of them will open up. A lot of categories will open up after 3 months. Hey, Enough Oils, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. How's it going, mate? You posted some good results, I think, on Twitter, didn't you, mate? I think you had a record month, which is awesome. So congrats on that. OA and Qogita, the way forward for me. Got 3 scans, really. Nice, there you go. That's a good job. Don't forget, by the way, you can use the code FBA Mogul to get £120 off your first order on Qogita. So if you've not done that already, go to your account, wallet. No, it's account, promotions, promo code, and it's FBA Mogul, all capitals, and you can get £120 off your first order. So if you've got the existing account, you can still try it as well, see if it'll apply to your account or not. But yeah, it's a no-brainer, basically. Right, so let's skip through. I really need to send this to my brother, actually, to tell him to remove this from the Qogita Price Drops, this brand here. So this is an interesting one, actually. Someone sent me this earlier, I think, this one. So let me just make sure we're zoomed in so we can actually see what's going on. So this one here, it's £15.51, including VAT. Ooh, that's good. That's quite cheap, actually. This is quite an interesting one, actually. Someone sent, I think Thomas sent this to me earlier, actually. Let's have a look. This looks like quite a good... Oh, it might have sold by now. That's annoying. So this was quite a good deal until it sold. So this was $15.51, including VAT. And I'm pretty sure that's including VAT. Yeah. And that's a pretty good profit. So £4 profit, 26% ROI. It's 1,000 sales per month on this one. Let me zoom in again, make sure we're getting a good... you can see what's going on. Oh, it's obviously hazmat because it's perfume. Now, the one thing I didn't like about this, the only downside to this is it is a slightly trending down, this price. So what I'm looking at here is that this price is trending down and there's only 130 days of data. So this product's only been released 130 days ago. So that was the one sort of thing that kind of put me off, is this trend was going down a little bit, and at the price I had it before, it was a little bit thin, but at this price it's pretty good, to be fair, when you can make £4 profit per unit. Yeah, enough of us is going great, thank you, cheers. Like it, buy it, love it. It's got £100 credit, that's awesome. Glad to hear you got that. So Ozzy's asking, any tips for starting fresh, finding first few products to start rolling? Yes, you need to be, well, my favorite method is, let me just quickly go back to the old full screen camera. We'll talk about this quickly. My favorite method is using newsletter sourcing, so OA. So you need to decide what kind of sourcing method you're going to do. You're going to do retail arbitrage, so going into physical stores. You're going to do like full-on wholesale, which I do not recommend whatsoever. Are you going to do sort of the hybrid wholesale OA, which is like Qogita? So it is wholesale, but it's more like OA, online arbitrage. Or you're going to do full-on online arbitrage. You need to decide what you're going to do from there. Now, if you're going to do OA, for example, cool. Then basically what you need to do is sign up to a bunch of newsletters. If you go to, I don't have the link here. Go to my Discord server, go down to the useful information channel. In there, you've got the ultimate sourcing kit, and in there, you've got like 600 sites you can sign up to when it comes to newsletters. And what you're looking for is sales. So every morning, like 8 a.m., 9 a.m., you're looking for what's on offer, what sales are on, and then you're going to those sites that have sales. It's honestly, sourcing is very easy, really. There's only just one way of sourcing, by the way. You can use Keeper Product Finder. We've got a new article on Keeper Product Finder coming out on my website, fbamogul.com. Brad's been writing that for me, looking really nice actually. There's also a bunch of other sourcing articles there, but essentially you're looking for items that are on sale, so go where the sales are. That's going to give you the best chance to find stuff where you can make money, basically. So that's the best tip I can give you, really. Go where the sales are. Everything we buy pretty much is on sale, is on offer, so you've got to go where the sales are. We're very rarely buying stuff at RRP. Unless it's like the Switch 2, or I don't know if that's actually a good product or not. But unless it's some sort of hyped product, which I pretty much never sell, you're always buying stuff that's on sale. Pokemon as well, I suppose, is another hyped product as well, where you can buy it for RRP. So like it but love it saying, a quick question, how do I get approved for dangerous goods, documents enrolling? You don't need any documents, you just need to go to, I don't have the link to hand, but go to Seller Central, search Hazmat or Dangerous Goods Program, I think it's called, Dangerous Goods Program. There'll be a link there, you can click on it, you just click apply. It's a mere formality, it takes like a week or so and they'll accept you. That's pretty much it basically. So yeah. Shipping it in's a little bit tricky. I'd 100% recommend using a prep center to ship dangerous goods in, because you're not really allowed to do it yourself. You won't really be insured if you send it in via UPS. If it gets lost, so it's just easier to use a prep center. So Equal saying, growing hair, I know, yeah, thank you, yeah. So I need to get a haircut actually. It's getting a little bit long on top, but yeah, so I prefer it a bit shorter still. But yeah, I need to get a haircut. It's kind of like one nice thing about having it shaved off. It's really easy to maintain. But yeah, so anyway, but yeah, I prefer, it's basically me getting to my midlife crisis, essentially. So I thought, well, I've got hair, I may as well take advantage of it and enjoy it before it all falls out or goes grey or whatever. So I just thought, grow it out and enjoy it while I've got it. So it's honestly, approaching 40 is just so weird for me, honestly. But yeah, anyway. So the next thing I need to do is buy an expensive sports car for my midlife crisis. Ozzy's saying, is it basically check newsletters, pick through the items that are ungated at the start? Yeah, obviously I don't know what brands are going to be ungated for you. It's going to be annoying and tricky when you first start. Some brands will be, but you'll know certain brands. You'll look at like Clinique, for example. You realize it's bad. It's restricted for you. So don't even waste your time looking at other Clinique products. You just go through. So essentially that's what you're doing. You're trying to go through as many products as possible, and obviously you're eliminating immediately before even researching it, like Clinique products, for example, because you won't be able to sell them, things like that. So yeah, exactly. Yeah, too busy to get a haircut. Oh, today's been a bit of a nightmare, to be honest. But yeah, in terms of just stuff to do. Anyway, let's go back and do some Qogita sourcing. Let's just try and get some sourcing done, shall we? So anyway, this one looked pretty good, but like I say, and sales per month at 1,000 per month, really nice. To be fair, it's just you can't really see actually. I'll have to maybe move my face over. Yeah, it's got 130 days of history, which is not ideal. I prefer to have more history. So, but yeah, so this one at the moment is a bit more expensive, but yeah, at the price it was. This is what I'm saying. Price drops right now. It's like 16 something or other, excluding VAT, whereas this was 15.51 including VAT. So it was a really good deal. Again, just buying these price drops. All right, I need to send these to my younger brother right now before I forget. Where is he? There we go. Heelsporin. I think I'm 99% sure Heelsporin's is well, let's actually check. Well, let's check if my extension says yes or no. Derms. Oh, it doesn't say. I'm 99% sure this is restricted, so the extension's failed me there. I have to check that. Why has that not gone through? Okay. I'm 99% sure that this brand is restricted. So, but yeah, so weird. I need to check that. It's still, still a few little bugs here and there. Okay, this item here, I've seen people run into this one before. This is not a 2-pack. We're seeing a lot of the same products actually over and over. How can you show us, Zach? Show us how to use the price drop extracts. I normally just download the catalog and use Arbisource. Yeah, so you'll have to, if you want to do it, you'll have to basically subscribe to Qogita Price Drops, which is my younger brother's server. And then in that, can I show you? Yeah, why not? Give me a second. Yeah, we can probably do this. So this is essentially what it looks like. This is my Discord, by the way. So you can see every hour. Can I zoom in? There we go. Here we go. So you can see every hour, basically, you are getting a price drop that you can download. So this one's like in the past hour, there was a 25,571 drops at 6 o'clock. At 7 o'clock, there was 2,605. Obviously, it's wholesale, so during the working day, there's more going on. Some hours you get nothing, but obviously other times you get more. There's also a combined one as well. So it combines the past sort of 3 p.m. to 6 p.m., 12 p.m. to 6 p.m., all these different ones. I think there's a small bug today. Not all of them are posting out. But yeah, essentially you've always got the hourly ones. They're pretty reliable. And what you do is just download it. And then, where's my Discord gone? Let's have a look. Let me get rid of this now. You basically take that sheet and then stick it into Arbisource. So you go to scans, wholesale, upload. You find the sheet like this one here, for example. Open it up. It's very similar to doing the Qogita catalog, except there's one very good thing in here. You've got a few things. You've got UPC there. You've got the name like usual. You can either choose including or excluding VAT. So we do the latest price, including VAT. And you've also got the product URL as well, so the Qogita product link. So do that, click start scan, and there you go, basically. Pretty simple. So, my Discord's all messed up now from zooming in. But yeah, so that's my Discord anyway. You got a sneak peek into that as well. Had to think if there's anything on there that I don't want to show, but it's fine. But yeah. Does it work? Yeah, it literally runs every hour, James. But remember, wholesale, generally they work 9 to 5. So while there are, let me have a look. There are deals going on and dropping at, 4 a.m. There's maybe not quite as many. Saying that, there was 32,000 price drops at 4 a.m. So, weekends tend to be slower. Like Sunday morning, I think it was or Saturday morning, it was 100 items price dropping. Not very much really. So now I need to go back to the old scans here. So all the links for these, by the way, are in the description. So Qogita, you got your £120 discount with code FBA Mogul. You've got the Qogita price drops. I think there's a discount for that as well. And obviously OA Heroes there as well. I've got a link for that and Arbisource. So these are the kind of tools that I'm using really. Let's go back to confirm monthly sales. I don't know if this is the same scan as the other one. Looks like it. So cool. So yeah, one reason I created the OA here extension is, okay, they've actually fixed the image on this now, which is really good. So actually, let's just double check to make sure we're actually okay on this one. So actually, but yeah, basically this used to be a 2-pack image, but we can see, well, by the title, it's just 1 pack, and if you check the GTIN, it doesn't mention anything about a 2-pack. So yeah, a bit weird product name. One thing I realized is all these different. You think there'd be one single source of truth for EAN numbers and GTN numbers, but there isn't. Almost every single site is a different thing. Kind of annoying. So yeah, this is £2.93, which will be. So I don't think it's going to be profitable. No. But yeah, it is selling as a 2-pack on Amazon. But yeah, so that's why the GTIN searching is always good, just to double check. James is asking, I was reluctant to use the price drop service because I work 9 to 5. Sounds like more drops I can explore. And there's price drops all the time. I will say majority of price drops probably do happen between, I don't know, 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. I guess, but things do drop at any time really. So yeah, like I said, last night at say 4 a.m. there were 32,000 price drops. So yeah, can happen. Cool, right. So Clinique. Ooh, this one looks a bit. I mean, I wouldn't look at this normally. You can see here there's like a tiny little at the end here price spike. So but we can have a quick look and see. But essentially, what you want to do when be sourcing is be going through these products quickly. Now, the one thing I will say is that we've got 46% ROI, so there might actually be some room here to actually buy this still. So it's $25.89 to buy this one. So I've seen it cheaper apparently. Yeah, $35.99. There's no money in this one. It's quite a cool little feature Amazon's got here. Customers usually keep this item, or customers frequently return these items. If I see an item that's frequently returned, I basically never buy it. We'll move on from that one. Let's have a look here. So we got socks. This maybe looks like IP potentially, but we'll have a quick look. So it's £3.26 to buy. Interesting. 500 SPM according to Amazon, which is nice. We need to make sure we've got the correct product as well. This is the so someone's bought this. So this is scans that I'm running from the day for the whole day basically. So obviously the really good ones have already been bought, but you can see someone here bought this one. So this was a really good deal. It's £1.77 profit, 55% ROI. It sells 500 per month. It seems okay in terms of private label. I'm not sure. Let's have a check. There's just like one seller, and it should actually be fine, to be fair. But yeah, someone obviously got this, and it sells pretty well, especially with summer coming. We can obviously look at the previous history, see what it sold in summer last time. Actually, not that useful actually on this one. But it always does 400, 500, 300, 600, so it sells pretty well. Cool. Let's have a look. Go down here. Osmo. Not seen this brand before, but we can see here pretty much that this is like it pretty much always is around. And I'm looking at the pink line here, by the way. Is always this like stable £17.30, £17 whatever it's 25, and then suddenly for whatever reason it's shot up to £28. Now someone did ask me the other day, do I ever buy products like this where there's like a temporary price spike? It definitely looks worse on IBSource, by the way, than it does here. So something here, this is a 3-month view, by the way. Let's go to a year view. So we can see this pretty much does almost live around the £17.50 mark, let's say. Plus or minus a pound. It's now gone all the way up to £28. Is it worth sending this in and trying to snipe those higher prices? I'd say I don't personally do it, but you can do, but I probably wouldn't do it with wholesale. If you can go and get the item from a store, if you can get it delivered next day delivery, if you're self-prepping as well, and the day it arrives, you pack it and send it in, and that's when you can potentially take advantage of these big price spikes, but you need to literally be on the ball sending it in right away. If you're doing something like wholesale, like Qogita is a little bit slower, to be fair. Some wholesalers sell it really quickly, send stuff really quickly. Other times they can take up to 10 days. So you don't want to be like trying to send stuff in and sniping a high price. It's definitely a risky game, but if you can pick it up from the store, send it in same day, next day, it could be potentially an okay strategy, sending in 5-10 units, but you run the risk of getting burned. One thing I would say is if you're thinking about doing that is, look into seller ramp. And I mean, for this, I wouldn't bother because it's probably not worth it. Looking at what the normal price is. So this one's, let's say, £17.50. What I want to really be doing is like breaking even at the worst case scenario. Whereas here you're losing like £3.66. So it's too risky on this one. I wouldn't do it. But yeah, it's something someone asked me the other day, actually. Just reminded me. So if you guys have got any questions, by the way, feel free to throw them out there. Cool. Let's have a look. Interesting. Not seen this brand before. The price looks pretty stable on this one. £1.71 seems like a pretty good price for this. So it's £1.46 excluding VAT. We times that by 1.2 in seller ramp. So we've missed the price before. I hope I put the scan in correctly. I think I did. I'm wondering now. But it looks like we're probably missing some of the good deals, basically. We can look at the price history. £1.43. But this is per supplier, though. That's the only thing I don't like about this price thing. It's not the listing, it's supplier. The price history. I might have actually put the scan in wrong here. Oh, well. We can just carry on as it is, basically. So it's £1. So hang on, how much is this costing? Sorry, £1. Hang on, what is going on? £1.46 times by 1.2 gives us 170. Yeah, what am I doing? I don't know why. I don't know what I'm doing. Yeah, £1.75 is correct actually. Yeah, so this is saying £1.71. It's gone up by 4p. We're all good. For some reason, I was looking at the profit for some reason as the cost of goods at £2.68. Anyway, now I'll get my mind back in the game. This one kind of looks interesting. So I've not seen this brand before, but obviously we'll double check to make sure it's not private label. But what I'm seeing here is a ridiculous ROI. I'm seeing a really nice profit. I'm seeing a very healthy 400 sales per month. So we're 3 thumbs up so far. In terms of price stability, actually looks pretty stable. It has been like as low as £6.70. So we'll just plug that in to have a quick look. 6.770. So we're actually still making £1 profit at that price, which is not too bad really. But yeah, so and the current price is like £6.80 or something. So £8.95. Making £2.68 profit. The sales per month is going up as well. What is this actually? I don't even know what it is. It looks foreign. Yeah, I don't even know what this is. So I don't know why it's selling so well in the UK. But obviously people that are buying it knows what it is. Okay, it's like baby powder basically. Okay, interesting. So it's the SPM right now is really high. In the past it's been like 50 to 100, which is still not too bad to be fair. Yeah, very interesting listing this one. So this is kind of cool. The Silla Marketplace is available. Double check. This is what again we're looking at here. New Nunco 500ml. Essentially with the GTIN, we're looking to make sure it's like the same. If it's like a perfume, is it EDP versus EDT, for example? Is it the same size bottle? Things like that. And we can see it's 500ml. Looks like it's the exact same product. And there's 150 in stock. So the one thing that's hurting this then basically is that minimum order value with the supplier is 1,250. That's what's hurting this basically. But it's still very profitable though. So if you can get some more stuff from the supplier, this could be quite a nice little one. I will throw it in the chat if people want to check it out. But yeah, it's definitely interesting, that one. Cool. Elizabeth Arden's a good brand you can sell. So I think Celeramp's complains it's IP, but it really isn't. I've sold this one before. But yeah, so £7.15. And again, oops, don't want to switch Chrome profiles. So lower ROI. I mean, this one here it gets a bit tricky because it's dangerous goods. Dangerous goods tends to cost more to send in. You have to prep send, or have to pay for your own shipping. Cost more per unit. It's only 100ml though, so you could probably fit quite a few in a box. Price wise, actually, price is a little bit low right now. It's definitely been higher in the past. Up to £20, 400 SPM. Summer coming, I imagine this is going to do quite well. This actually looks like pretty good listing. It's not IP, that's wrong. And it's been up to like £20, so £4 sort of 76 profit, 60% ROI. Looks pretty good to me, to be fair. So it's kind of interesting. It is up and down a little bit, but even at like these lower prices, we're still making money. So yeah, it's definitely interesting. The only downside, I suppose, is Amazon's at $14.95. So yeah, in that regard, that kind of sucks. But Amazon pretty much always in stock. But if Amazon go back up to some crazy price like they have been multiple times, then you could do quite well on this one, to be fair. So when you sold Elizabeth in the past, Amazon hog the buy box. Yeah, so I imagine if you're looking at the lower prices, then definitely it looks like they might do. But if you're looking at let's just look at Amazon, for example, we can see that they do go up and down quite a lot. So, Amazon, they are down at like $14.95, sometimes even lower than that, but they also go back up to 35. So there is definitely opportunity on this listing. I'd say probably 40% of the time in the past year, they've been like way high on price. So yeah, I think there's opportunity there, to be fair, on this one. So let's just double check and see what it's like on Qogita. Double check here. So Elizabeth Arden, green tea, coconut breeze, EDT, 100 mil. Beautiful. So that EAN search has worked really nicely, courtesy of OA Hero. The best extension ever for Amazon sellers. 224 in stock. Hey, I'd be tempted by this myself, to be honest. It looks like a summery one as well. So obviously with the weather getting nicer, with summer, I guess we are in summer, aren't we? I don't know. I like this one because I think the downside, the worst case, is like you're still going to make like £1 profit. So yeah, not too bad on that one really. So if people want to check that out, feel free to check it out. But yeah, you do have to sometimes keep an eye out for Amazon hogging buy boxes. It can be a pain at times. But yeah, so pretty much just rinse and repeat, I guess. Do you want me to carry on sourcing? You mean this is for you guys? You want me to carry on sourcing? Do you want me to go back and just chat? What do you guys want me to do? Really, let me know. If you guys got any questions, then feel free. But yeah, we can. Let me check out one or two more products, and then we'll go from there. Basically, so. This one here, £1.25 profit, not exactly fantastic, but it's a fastish seller. It's a small item. It should be very, this is the kind of item you can just throw in the box whether you've got existing stuff already. So in terms of shipping cost, this basically is nothing. And obviously we're looking at price, buy box quickly. We can see that, the price is pretty stable overall. It's been up to like £7.60 or something, £7.26. It's not exactly like a killer deal, this one. So we're looking at like £1.24 profit at the current price. Obviously, Amazon's on the listing. When we can look at buy box statistics, Amazon, actually, they have about 44% of the time. I don't normally look at this stuff myself, but yeah. But on this one, I think it's quite useful. But yeah, so not another bad one really here. We can just double check that on Qogita as well. So £3.26. 51 unit. Again, we're going to hit the problem here is minimum order quantity from this supplier. So you'll have to add some other stuff on there. We can check this on EAN search. So Rimmel, London, Brow, this way. It doesn't have the color here, but 02 medium brown. So we can confirm that with the EAN number. And yeah, looks pretty good to me. So honestly, the EAN search thing is so useful. Honestly. If you guys want to check this out and get OA Hero, it's £100 for lifetime. Killer deal, by the way. So oahero.com, check that out. Yeah, it's an extension I've wanted to make for a long time and finally got around to actually doing it. So we can actually probably have a look at not Johnson Jewelers. That's where I look at my Rolexes. John Lewis. So let's have a look at it actually quickly before we go back to get rid of Cupid here. So when you're not doing Qogita and you want to do OA Hero, you can click up here, and I can't zoom in on it, I don't think. Maybe I can. No, it doesn't work. That's really annoying. But essentially, it tells you information about each supplier. So John Lewis, for example, tells you it's reseller friendly, tells you the quantity limit per order. Here it says 3. The order limits per day is none, and basically just gives you information about, say, VAT invoices, for example. Can you use the VAT invoices to ungate? Has useful information like the VAT number. It's got some very useful, just normal information on there, but the most important information is, do they care about resellers? So if you find a good deal, this is why this extension is like such good value. So for £100, basically, you can literally pay that off in one go. Because if you find a deal on John Lewis, you might be thinking, are they strict on orders? Should I just stick to 10 units, 5 units, do 1 order, 2 orders? Well, looking at this extension here, you can see John Lewis don't give a crap. You could spend 100 grand on John. I mean, okay, maybe 100 grand, I don't know actually, but they don't care. I've spent tens of thousands on this before, looping orders over and over and over on the same account with the same card and the same details. They don't give a monkeys. So I don't know why I'm looking over there because my camera thing's there. But yeah, so they don't give a monkeys. And from that, basically, with having this information from the extension, you can literally say if you normally order 10 units and you're a little bit unsure, knowing that you can literally loop orders over and over and over. I think it's really boring at times, don't get me wrong. I've done it multiple times on John Lewis, sat there ordering over and over and over. Oh my god, it's so boring. But yeah, at the same time, you're printing money. So when you're making like £50-100 profit per order, you can sit there and do it. And that's why it's so powerful. And it does multiple different sites. You do Sports Direct. And obviously over time, the data is going to get better and we'll have more data on there. So again, you probably can't see it. Sports Direct, the reseller friendly. They don't care about order quantities. They don't care about order limits per day. Some items do have limits, but majority of the time they don't give a crap. You can get VAT invoices. How you get the VAT invoice, you can just the VAT invoice is emailed to you when you place an order. So it tells you all this useful information basically for all these different sites. So yeah, it's pretty awesome basically. So yeah, we'll finish off on the OA Hero there, and we'll go back to just normal talking. And obviously you can see it's sponsoring this video. But yeah, so let me know what you guys want me to do. We can just hang out and chat and ask questions about Amazon, or I can do some more sourcing. It's up to you guys, really. I've got the old FBA Mogul t-shirt on there, the kind of embarrassing one because I've got Amazon Expert on there, which I need to get rid of. So Ozzy's asking, do you need Arbisource day one? You do not need Arbisource. Look, if you're going to do the method that I just did, Arbisource really does help because having a big CSV of price drops is going to be really hard to go through manually. What you can do is, just because something's dropped in price doesn't mean it's profitable. Essentially what Arbisource does is it filters all the unprofitable and profitable ones, filters out all the unprofitable ones and only shows you the profitable ones. So that's what it does basically. So you can get like a 7-day free trial through my link. There's also a code that gives you 30% off your first month, FBA Mogul 30. All the information is in the description for you. So you can take advantage of your free 7 days. You can get your cheap first month if you want. Then you can decide if you want to keep it or not. It does way more than that, by the way. I think it actually is one of the most essential tools out there, but it is expensive. It's $59.99 a month, I think. So if you're on a budget, it can be tricky, to be fair, but take advantage for a month, I guess, cheaper a month and a 7-day free trial. And see what you think, really. So just need to find one deal through it and you've made money. But if you're running with a budget of £500, then probably not going to work. Or even £1,000, to be fair. It could get tricky then. But yeah. Cool. If you guys have got any more questions, let me know. But yeah. So I'm not sure how long I'll be streaming for tonight. Might just keep it an hour. I might go longer. Depends. Depends on you guys, really. So... Of course, I've got my usual DMs from people. Prep centers asking questions. So for budgeting, Seller Amp, Keeper. So if you're a new Amazon seller, what tools do you need? They're absolutely essential. Seller Amp, pretty much, and I've got a link for it as well, which I'll shoot to you now. If you've not signed up already, you can check the chat and sign up to that. But Seller Amp is basically probably the most essential one. It shows you your profit on your items, so you can put your cost of goods in there. Shows you the sale price on Amazon. Shows you the sellers. Gives you you can click into it and see the charts as well. Although I don't use the Seller Amp charts myself, but essentially you can. You need that tool essentially to get started on Amazon. That's like pretty much one of the most essential ones. Keeper, I personally think is essential as well, but you can get away with not using Keeper, to be fair, because the charts are kind of included in Seller Amp. I personally find them easier to read on Keeper with that Keeper extension, but it depends what you're used to. And then you're going to need something like, and again, I'm going to throw out an affiliate link here, which helps me out. You can get, and this gives you, I think there's a 30% off your first month of this one, is Seller Toolkit, and that basically shows you your profit on a dashboard. So it gives you overall profit for the day, the week, the month, the year. Very important. You'd be surprised the number of people that don't use a tool like this, think they're making money, and they are not making money. Or they're making money on some products and losing on others. It's crazy. I've actually seen some big sellers not use a tool like this. Doesn't matter if you use Seller Board, Seller Toolkit, whatever. Seller Fuse is a new one as well. I personally use Seller Toolkit myself. But yeah, we're speaking to new sellers that wasn't using SaaS or SDK, was just going by orange bars. Yeah, exactly. Orange bars. I literally never look at orange bars. It is literally the most pointless statistic and thing ever. It's good for putting on Twitter, but it's literally the most pointless thing. And that's why I literally probably, I'll be honest, the Seller Central app on the phone, I've probably logged into it twice in a year, maybe, because someone probably mentioned to me like, oh, what your orange bars like. I know Nuffles like them, but yeah, they look good for Twitter, don't get me wrong, but they are literally pointless. I guess it's good to see maybe your sales growing month on month on month, but even that doesn't really necessarily make a lot of sense, because obviously like you're going to go from like December to January, it won't be growing. But you can obviously compare like previous January to current January, things like that. So in that regard, it can be okay, but I don't personally look at orange bars at all, ever, basically. But yeah, so yeah, Nuffles likes looking at and posting the orange bars. So how much profit did you make anyway, Nuffles? It was 2K, wasn't it? I think. I can't remember what you tweeted out now. But yeah, it's pretty good. So because you had a bit of a crap month last month, didn't you? So it's good to have you back. Hey Brad, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. May, yeah, in May, and that was 2.2k profit. Very nice. So, ACA Radic is asking, what will OA Hero do on Amazon? So right now it does the Qogita, and it also does the pop up on all the different sites like John Lewis, Sports Direct. There's 660 sites it supports. We haven't got full data on all of them. We've got data on a lot of them, and that will be filled up and improved over time. However, my next plan is just like on Qogita right now. If we just quickly show you, my next plan with OA Hero, once I get all the bugs ironed out, if we go back to Talking Head again. So if we go to Qogita, you can see, if we go to like Hugo Boss, for example, and search Hugo Boss, we can see that this is a restricted brand. So it's basically, it's detected that this is Hugo Boss. It's come up with a restricted. I will be splitting these out into IP, PL, hard gated, etc. What I want to do is basically add this onto Amazon. So this will be the next part of my extension that I want to do, is that on Amazon, as long as it all works okay, I don't see why it shouldn't. When you go onto a brand like this, it will essentially use the same list. It will see that so this is where it gets tricky. Like the brand here is Hugo Boss, and on here it's just Boss. But essentially it will say this is a restricted brand. It'll be hard gated. So, that's what we're going to do from that list. I may even hook it into Amazon, into your Seller Central as well. That's a little bit more complicated, where it actually checks it based on your account, whether you can sell or not. But other tools kind of do that though. But yeah, essentially I want to link it up to that as well. And there'll be other things as well I want to do on here. So, but that in terms of the most basic thing, I want to basically take that data that we've got and actually implant it onto the Amazon page. So it'll literally insert onto this page like restricted. But yeah, it gets tricky though, because it's looking at the title here, like Hugo Boss, and then obviously here it's not Hugo Boss, it's just called Boss. But yeah, anyway, so that's the next plan with OA Hero. Once I've kind of ironed out the bugs and improved the original 2 features, there's loads of, who knows, it might end up like Seller Ramp in the end, who knows. So yeah, who knows where it might end up. So get the lifetime license now while you can. I'd love to make a Seller Ramp equivalent, to be fair. No problem, Brad, it's all fine. You don't have to, it's fine. No problem whatsoever. But yeah, that's the basic. And then essentially, Radic, I'm open to doing any ideas that you guys got. I'm happy to try and implement them as long as they're not too radical. But yeah, I think Seller Ramp 2 Fair is really good. Bible Pro, again, same thing, really good. There's probably room for improvement though. I'm not saying I'll end up doing that, but hey, you never know how these things evolve over time. But yeah, mainly right now, really, the original plan with OA Hero was just to have that retailer information. Then obviously with Qogita, I was like, hey, I can use it with Qogita as well. Have the EAN search its restricted brands, IP brands, etc. But then, when you start building these things, you get all these ideas of things you can do. So, but yeah, who knows what kind of modules I can add in the future, to be fair. So I've got all sorts of ideas. Just what's practical to make and what's actually going to be useful. But yeah, so that's a promise. It's going to be like Seller. That's what I heard. Yeah. So no promises. Definitely not. But you never know where these things end up. I've seen the code for Celeram. It's not that complicated. There's obviously a lot of features there they've built over time. All these things look very complicated, I guess, in terms of like having so many features. But obviously, you got to remember these things were built over time. They weren't all built immediately. So, but yeah, there's probably some really. I'm open to people suggesting features, and I can implement those. So, yeah. Oh wow, me talking about this has actually killed the stream. We've got 11 or 13 viewers now. So yeah, if you guys got any more questions about Amazon, take advantage. What have we covered today? I wasn't planning on it, but people asked about mentorship. I am doing mentorship now. First 5 people is going to be half price. So if you want to do that, DM me. OA Hero as well. Basically, I'm cashing in, guys, now. No, not really. But yeah, I'm just trying to offer more value, really. So people ask me about mentoring all the time. So if people want to do mentoring, hey, I'm doing the first 5 people is going to be half price. DM me if you want to do that. It'll be £1,500. Mainly because it's going to be a learning experience. We'll be learning together. Well, I've done mentoring loads of times, like one-on-ones, on an ad hoc basis, like hundreds of times. I've not done like a full-on mentorship, so it'll be a learning curve, and that's why I'm doing half price for the first 5 people. To cover it over here, I've done some Qogita sourcing, and yeah, if you guys got any questions, find anything decent on Qogita? Yeah, we actually found a few ones, but we actually found a few that were really good price drops, but earlier on. We've missed them. There were some really good price drops, actually. As long as I didn't mess up the scan, which I don't think I did, there were some really good price drops, actually. But yeah, we totally missed those prices. So we found a few that were good, but the only problem was there's quite a high minimum order value on those orders. From the suppliers, sorry. So with the ones we found, you wouldn't be able to just buy them all in order. You'd have to order some other stuff as well. So, but yeah, if honestly, like... And by the way, OA Hero was £200. I decided to just immediately reduce it to £100 because I wanted to make it more accessible to everyone. So, it's a lifetime price. You can't go wrong. And by the way, every one of those EN searches costs me money. So doing a lifetime license with something that costs me on a monthly basis is quite a dangerous thing. But we should be okay. But yeah. So yeah, notice this. A few people actually mentioned on Qogita that the minimum order value is increasing. So maybe suppliers are realizing, hey, shipping's quite expensive, especially because I don't think they can. I don't know. Actually, I'm not very sure, but I'm assuming suppliers can't. In fact, I know they can't because the price is the same for everyone. But obviously, shipping from Europe to UK is more expensive. So if they're seeing a lot of orders going from a European supplier shipping to UK quite a lot, then maybe they'll put the prices up slightly on the minimum order value to cover those shipping, things like that. So yeah, absolutely. So when you make an EN search, if it's never been searched before, it gets stored in a database. Next time it gets searched, if it's in the next 30 days, it comes from a cache essentially from my database. Then after 30 days, if it's like older than 30 days, it will then refresh it essentially. That's how that works basically. So that was the way I saved the money with the EN searches. But yeah, you have to pay a subscription to do all these EN searches. All these places have APIs you have to pay for. So, but yeah, it's fine. It's all good. It's all hopefully be fine. But yeah, so I just need to sit down and actually just get some more features built out basically, and hire a developer. That's the next thing really, because I can't sit down and do it all myself all the time. So, but yeah, now I'm back in the UK. I can focus a bit more on that, and I've been doing some sourcing today, doing some A2A, things like that. So catching up with other stuff. But yeah, Amazon's going pretty well. Just got another sale there, so it'll pop up. I'm on £99 and £30 profit for the day. So not terribly great, but I'll take it. It's okay. Low ROI, 18%. I've got an item that is actually selling really well, but it's really low ROI because I just need to clear it through. It's just a bad buy, unfortunately. But that happens, to be fair. So at least I'm making money on it. I'm still making 40p per unit, even though the ROI is terrible on it. But sometimes that happens. You just end up with a bit too much stock. And oh yeah, Mogul Meetup. I need to organise that. Yeah, thank you for reminding me. I need to ring up that venue. Yeah, my main focus today was calling up. I was going to say the B word there, management company for my apartment because they're charging me a ridiculous amount of electricity. But won't talk. Yeah, that was my main focus. They were threatening lawyers, so I was like, oh my god. So I want to sort that out. But yeah, so that was I need to get that sorted. Even if it's a more informal one, but I want to get a venue. To be fair, I want to advertise it out. I need to get that done soon because it's going to be in July, August, maybe September. We need to give people plenty of time. So Rayanne's asking, what's your min sales per month you source from Qogita? You're asking essentially what's the listing, what's the minimum sales per month. I'd say probably 50, but it all depends on how much profit I'm making. I have bought products in the past where I was making like £20 profit per unit, and it was only like 15, 20 sales per month. I'm obviously going to do that because if I get like 5 sales a month out of that 20, then I'm making £100. So what I tend to look at more than the per profit unit is what I'm looking at is like how much can I make from that listing per month. For me, it's normally about £50. So where that's made up of one item selling for a £50 profit, or it's 50 items at £1 profit, pretty much don't care. But I pretty much look at it in terms of how much can I make from that listing per month. Now, obviously, when it gets really granular down to like £1, I have to factor in prep costs and things like that. Keep that in mind. Obviously, I think I'd rather have like somewhere in between, something that sells like 25 a month at £2. But essentially, I don't really care how it's made up. But yeah, that's what I'm looking at generally. But so I will take something that's way higher profit and sells less per month. What I won't do though is take something that sells like 2 sales a month, makes £1 profit, because I'm going to make like, let's say I get both the sales. For me, I'm making £2. It's not even worth it. It's not worth my time. But yeah, so and for you it might be, let's say, £10 per listing per month. You might want to start off with, then 15, then 20 as you grow. But yeah, excuse me. Yeah. But yeah, that's how I look at it anyway. So, but yeah, I like the faster selling items generally, but again, all I care too much about is profit. That's why I don't like orange bars too much. I don't care too much about ROI. I don't care too much about sales. Don't care too much about units sold. The only thing I really care, obviously you do need to factor those things a little bit, of course, but the only thing I really care about is profit. But yeah, and actually, yeah, it's nice to see the. So this month it's not the best month, but it's growing. It's growing. It's £298.21. So £300 this month so far. So £150 a day on average. So not too bad really. And the day's not over yet. So kind of over. But yeah, so when the margin is really tight on high volume, it makes me nervous, even when it's shifting. Yeah. So again. When it comes to, you want to be looking at the price history, seeing how stable it is. It does only take one idiot to tank it. You're right, but if it sells quickly, then SPM adds resilience to listing. So even if they tank it and it sells like 1,000 month, 2,000 month, whatever, you just gotta wait it out. It's fine. I'll just wait it out generally. Especially if it's a fast selling listing, because they'll be sold out pretty quickly, and then it'll come back basically. So yeah, even if you wait like 2-3 months, it's an interesting one really. We obviously all like, and I talked about this in my driving vlog, which I still need to release. We all love the idea of having stuff that you send in and sells immediately, but the reality of Amazon isn't always that. You have stuff that you send in and does sell right away, and then other stuff you have to wait for 3 months. It's just the reality of it. Probably the average hold for me is probably like, I don't know, 1.5-2 months to be fair, maybe even a little bit more. It's not what I want. I'd rather get the money in, get the stock in, get it churned, get it sold, get it reinvested. But it's just the way that it is really. So, and it works, to be fair. So yeah, it is finding a balance, to be fair. But it tends to be, the reality tends to be like a 2-3 month hold, to be fair. It's finding that balance of like selling through versus profit. Yeah. Everyone's repricer follows them and up with massive queue. Yeah, potentially. Yeah, it depends if people set a minimum. But yeah, it all depends on the listing, how many sellers there are, things like that. Yeah, I don't mind. Well, obviously don't like it. Faster selling items tank a little bit. I'll just wait. I'm doing it right now with a bunch of products. I'm like, I've got these 750 hair straighteners. The price is tanked down. I still think it's still good profit, to be fair. I've not checked recently, but it's meant to be like £6-7 profit. I think it got dropped down to like £4 profit. And it sells like 6,000 per month or something ridiculous. I'm just waiting it out. I've got 25 grand stored in that stock, but I'm just waiting because I'd rather, those deals don't come around very often, so I want to maximize the deals on those. So if I had loads of other deals to buy and no money to spend, then maybe I would look to sell through. But right now I'm happy to hold, let people sell out now, and I'm just happy to wait, to be fair. But it is finding a balance, to be fair. It is finding a balance. Quite a few big sellers sell low SPM but high volume works for them. Yeah, of course. There's no right or wrong way to do this. I have done that as well. Back when I was doing sneakers trainers, they were none of those trainers were selling more than 50 SP. In fact, I think the most one of them sold one size may have been 20 SPM, so nothing more than 20 or 25 SPM. The way that I made money on the trainers, and I've talked about this before, I think, but a single, like, I sold two different colors, white and black, okay, and then and then inside of those there were 14 different sizes, all the way from 6 to 13, with half sizes in between. You took any individual one, maybe like I think the white of size 9 was literally the most popular, might have sold 25 per month, and then the least popular one was like size 6 of black, whatever it was, I don't know. But essentially the way that I made money there was, if you just sold one color, one size, then you wouldn't make much money because you're not going to get many sales per month. But I had 28 ASINs because I had 14 sizes over two different colors. So I essentially manufactured my own fast listing. So if you take like an average of like 20 SP, let's just say an average of 15 SPM, let's say, for example, times that by 28, suddenly I've got a 420 sales per month listing. Now, if I'm making £20 profit per unit or £30 profit, that's probably an average of 25, to be fair. Actually, that's a bit high, to be fair. It's probably like 20 then. That's like £8,400 profit. So, and then obviously you can take that across different European stores as well, which is what I did with those sneakers. 40% of my sales came from it. I mean, those numbers are a little bit inflated, to be fair. But yeah, so I think SPM was slightly lower. Profit was about £20 to £30, depending on the size. And then I sold into Europe as well, where I got 40% of my revenue. But yeah, so you can definitely do it. There's nothing wrong with doing. I've done that. The high profit or high-ish profit. Some people do £100 profit items. I was doing the £20, £30 profit items. And just low SPM. They can absolutely 100% work. I think the best approach really is a hybrid approach. Don't exclude anything. Don't exclude anything. Say, go for the fast sellers, go for the slow sellers. If you see something that makes £100 profit per month, sells one per month. I've actually just bought one recently. Actually, it's essentially it's £100. I think it's £90 profit. It sells once per month. I'm testing it out, seeing what it's going to be like. It's a different thing I've never sold before. Someone gave me a tip on it. So yeah, hard to find these, yeah, but they come around though. So, and some people are afraid of them, especially if you just invest £300, £400, £500. One thing I would say is electronics. It kind of sucks because they have way higher return percentages. Saying that though, so did sneakers. They had what was the return percentage now? I can't even remember now. Good look. This is the thing about Seller's Hook I don't like. You can't really filter down very well. I can't actually try. I think I'll have a look, but I can't actually filter that on the homepage. I can't just put the word Nike in there and see. But if I remember correctly, it was 10 to 15% returns on those sneakers. I'd say out of that, let's just say it's 15%. I'd say out of those 15%, 10% could go back in straight away, be sold as like new. 2 or 3% could be sold as like used, and then like 1 to 2% came back as like trashed, essentially. So yeah, it was something around that anyway. Hey Snappy, thanks for joining us, by the way. There's no right or wrong way to do this business. In fact, there's so many different methods. For gaming controllers are one of the worst. Did that tactic work though, Brad? Brad ran into an issue. He was getting returns on gaming controllers. One thing I suggested to him was basically buying some of these serialized stickers, or stickers that's when you open them up, they kind of like peel off like warranty stickers, and basically putting them on, or putting a sticker saying like serial number recorded. Because what people do with game controllers, and I've sold plenty of game controllers in the past, is they will take their old game controller, if they're broken, they'll swap it out with a new one. Happens all the time. That's why it's got such high returns. Having that kind of like serial number recorded thing on there would be very useful, essentially. And that's what happened to you, Brad, wasn't it? You had a switcheroo because I think you said the model number was slightly different. And basically I think that would deter the sell. I'm actually thinking about getting my prep center to do that, actually, for any electrical item. Provide them with a bunch of stickers that have like serialized. I mean, it means nothing essentially. I'm not tracking the serial numbers or whatever, but if the end user thinks you are, then it can reduce your return rates. Having like serial number recorded, having like a special serial number sticker over the, so they can't open it without tearing it, things like that. And that costs pennies. So it could return your return rates down by 1 to I don't know. Who knows? It could even be like 50% less. I just don't know. It'd be interesting to see. Gaming mice as well, keyboards, gaming headsets, another huge one. People do switcheroos on those, or they try them out for like a month or so, and then, yeah, it's awful. Yeah, so all that kind of stuff you need to be very careful. So gaming headsets, for example, I see those. I'm like, I need to be making 50% ROI for me to sell one of those. Yeah, but it's kind of interesting with the whole idea of the yeah. Look on Amazon. If you search like serialized stickers or warranty stickers or serial number stickers, you can get them, and they're dirt cheap, honestly. So probably, I don't know, a penny each or something, or maybe less. No, way less actually. You just need to obviously get your prep center to do it or do it yourself. It's an interesting idea anyway. Because I saw another seller doing that actually. I was like, oh, that's very clever. So Empire's saying, if Amazon loses a unit and they reimburse a low amount, can you open a case? I need to do this because I've had a few reimbursements recently, and I'm like, whoa. You're reimbursing me not ridiculously low, but lower than I paid. I had one, what was it earlier? So look, because I've got the cost of goods, I've got the cost of goods in my sort of SKU, so I know what the cost is, so I can see the reimbursement and reimbursement report here. Yeah, so I had a DKNY returned, and okay, it's not terribly far off. They reimbursed me £16.94, but it cost me £18.50. So I'm still losing like £1.56, whatever it is there, plus the prep fee, plus the shipping. Yeah, so I think I need to do. I assume this is correct. Yeah, you can raise a case, give them invoice. So I need to do this because there was another one here actually. It was another item which I'm not going to say what it is actually. But it cost me $45.99. They only reimbursed me $38.26. So I'm lost £6 or £5.74 there, whatever it is. 73 because it's $54.99, $45.99. Sorry. But yeah, so definitely need to do that myself actually. I need to get my admin VA onto this actually. That needs to be her job. Something I'm definitely going to be trying to improve is getting better processes in place, getting my admin VA to do more work for me when it comes to Amazon. So she's really good at my accounting so far. She does all my books for me. She chases invoices. No reason she can't do the reimbursements for me as well. So yeah, it kind of sucks when that happens. But yeah, I need to get those cases raised because it sucks when that happens. And yeah, I don't want to be just because Amazon damaged something. I'm losing like £6. That sucks. So loads of questions recently about customer damage returns. Might be worth talking about that. Oh, where have you seen that then? I've not seen that actually. I've totally missed that, I suppose. Do you want to update me quickly on that, Brad? I've totally missed it. But yeah, we all know though that customer damaged items absolutely suck. When was this? So I just missed. Is it recently or? God, I must have missed it. But yeah, it's yeah, I don't know. I'll have to catch up basically on it, but yeah, customer damage. There's no reimbursement available unless something's changed recently. So yeah, it sucks. It's probably one of the worst parts of Amazon is that if a customer damages your item, I've been worst one for me was like a drone. Someone crashed it, they returned it. Hey, they get a full refund. I'm left holding the bag basically. Fortunately on that one, I got it so cheap I was able to break even on it. But yeah, it sucks. Customer returns suck. So you need to be on top of your warranty replacements if you can. If it actually is like faulty, you can get a warranty replacement. Otherwise, some people, I don't advocate you doing this, do switcheroos and stuff. I definitely don't recommend you doing that. Yeah, and other things like that basically. But yeah, it's one of the things you're going to have to eat really, which is also why you're trying to avoid those items that get returned frequently. Because yeah, headsets, for example, toothbrushes, breast pumps, all these ones, like people, it wasn't just me, by the way. So back when I first started Amazon, Tommy Tippy breast pumps was something we were selling. I had returned ones that were used. One person even had one that I had ones that had milk leftover residue in there. If someone had actual milk in theirs, and then people returned it like that, it's like you literally have to throw it in the bin. There's nothing you can do with it. It has to go in the bin. Like, it's just horrendous. So, but unfortunately, that's just part of Amazon, I suppose. You have to, I don't know how they're able to return that, actually, from a hygiene point of view. But anyway, it is what it is. Still did very well on them. But yeah, every time someone returned one of those, it's like 50 quid. It's like throwing 50 quid in the, £50 note in the bin, basically. But what can you do? What literally can you do? Yeah, so it's actually better if a customer like does a switch on you. That's way better because Amazon will reimburse you for that. They won't reimburse you for customer damage. So you'd rather they switch things around or take things out of there. So Empire saying just open a removal order that arrived and it's a perfume and it had the lid removed, all sorts of damage. Don't know how the customer even managed that. People just treat stuff like crap. Or they had one like that before that got damaged. Maybe they took it on a holiday and it was in the bag and it got damaged or whatever. Then they do a switch on you. That could happen. Yeah. So, yeah, when it comes to like aftershaves and perfumes, pretty much I keep the aftershaves myself. I've got a really nice collection now. Armani and what's another one? I've got all sorts of any ones basically. I've got a little collection going. Perfumes are just giveaway. You know, you can sell them on eBay as well. It obviously depends what it costs, and things like that. But yeah, so I mean, people buy them on eBay, but they don't go for very much. Though maybe 20% of the value. Yeah, free milk for your breakfast. Yeah, exactly. Nice. Yeah, can raise claims for switches though, if you can prove it. Yeah, exactly. If you can prove it, yeah. So, which is why I think like deterrent might be quite good to be fair. So I need to talk to the prep center about it actually, my prep center. And just say like, hey, can we put these stickers on electronic items? So yeah, or start recording serial numbers as well would be quite good. I think it just adds extra time on. But for more expensive items over like £100 or £50, they're electrical, and it could be kind of interesting to be fair. So ooh yeah, we have named the here. Oh wait, yeah, Brad, do you not know the name of it? I thought you did. The OA Hero Cat's name is Felix. Okay, so no, not really. No, we haven't come up with a name yet. If you want to come up with a name now, you can come up with a name and we can call it. We can. So yeah, the cat that visits my neighbour's cat visits me all the time, like literally every day. Although she didn't seem to care that I was gone for like 3 months. Just didn't even bat an eyelid. Yeah, always comes up. She's called Sophie, but it's not it's not really a good cat name, I don't think. So yeah, yeah. What's that lazy cat that hates Mondays called? How can I not remember that? Oh my god, how can I not remember that? What is that? It's the cartoon cat. Cannot remember. Anyway, if you come up with a good name, we can give it a name. Yeah, so Bezos the cat. Oh, I actually like that. Bezos. We could call it Bezos. That is really good. I actually like that. Oh, Garfield. Yeah. No, I like Bezos, actually. That's kind of cool. Or something along that theme, actually. That's really cool, actually. I like that. Bezos the cat. That is brilliant, actually. I like that. So, yeah. Yeah, that's a good one. We might have to call it Bezos. That's hilarious. Yeah, I like that a lot, actually. I think you got it there. So you win the prize. Actually, reminds me, someone won the prize for having the tags, and I need to actually message them. Well, they need to message me to get their £100. So, yeah, for the little FBA tag things. So, what should the next giveaway be? I'll probably give away some OA Hero licenses, actually, maybe. So, yeah, maybe we'll see. Let's actually hopefully see if someone's actually bought one. It's been a bit slow, actually. I was hoping the uptake would be a bit better, but yeah, these things, I guess, if we just keep improving it, then people will eventually buy. So, but yeah, so weird. It's got a weird email from Bricklink. So, Christiana, hey, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. I'm new here and new to Amazon FBA. Welcome. I appreciate you coming on. Sorry if it's a silly question. There are no silly questions. Don't worry. Does Amazon accept invoices from Qogita? Yes, they do. Now, the question is, so just to step back a second, are you asking from the ungating point of view or are you asking from the authenticity point of view? If you're asking from the ungating point of view, well, the answer is yes to both. However, from an ungating point of view, technically they do accept Qogita invoices with the marketplace invoice. However, they love declining these over and over and over. So I don't necessarily say that Qogita invoices are the best for ungating, but they will ungate items. It's just like Amazon right now is being a real pain when it comes to ungating. They make you apply 5, 10, 15, 20 times, sometimes even more, even when you've got like an invoice from the brand directly. So with Qogita invoices, you can actually, but I've just never personally had much luck myself. Not that there's anything wrong with those invoices. I know guys who've, say, ungated Paco Rabanne. There was another big brand as well, someone ungated with a Qogita invoice, like a real tough brand. One that I really struggled to ungate, and they did it first time with Qogita. So yeah, essentially the answer is yes, with an asterisk basically. So Christina, if you're brand new to Amazon, you can DM me, by the way. If you're in my community, check the description of this video. You've got the link to my FBA community there. You can DM me, FBA Mogul. You can book a one-on-one call with me if you want. It's all free. We can get you set up and stuff like that. We can get you going Qogita if you want. Things like that. So Empire, probably make that once a year. Once a year MacBook thing probably. So we'll see. I've had a pretty good year so far. As long as it continues, it'll be a MacBook. Yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, welcome Christina. Or Christiana. Is it Christiana? Sorry, yeah. But no problem. Yeah, thanks for joining us, by the way. And say, jump in the community. The Discord community is really friendly. We've got 1,600 people in there. We've got people like Brad, Snappy, loads of other Thomas, loads of other helpful people in there as well. Other people who have just started Amazon, people who got experience, and yeah, it's a great place. To be fair, you can ask questions, you can DM people. Just ask questions. You can DM me if you got any questions, and so Qogita can be a good place. But we can get you set up, and we can talk about your budget, things like that, if you want to book a call with me. And I can advise what your best strategy is to get started. So yeah. But if you've got any more questions now, fire them away while I'm here. You can, basically get free access to me now. So fire away your questions. I just had another sale there, not for much, 72p. Yeah, not exactly great profit, but there we go. Actually, 21% ROI on that though, 21.69% ROI. But yeah, bit of a clear on that one as well. How did the sourcing go? It was not too bad. I didn't actually spend too much time sourcing, to be fair. I spent a lot of time talking. But yeah, we found a few actual profitable deals. The only issue we ran into was minimum order values on those suppliers. So I can't remember what the exact... We found like a Rimmel eyebrow one, and we found something else. Oh, it was a... I did post the GTN in the chat if you scroll up. We found one which was a Elizabeth Arden spray, perfume spray. But the minimum order value was £1,250. So I think it was that one anyway. Unless I'm getting myself confused. But yeah, so it was pretty good to be fair. I'd probably buy it. If it's still there, I'll probably buy it. But yeah, we found a few good ones to be fair. And I was only looking on the first page. So we have definitely missed a few as well where the profit was way higher. There was a really good Latafa one, I think it's called, or something, I can't remember. Perfume, that was obviously a really good price earlier on. It was £4 something profit on a... I'm going to say 500 or 600 SPM. No, it was 1,000 SPM on that listing, actually. So, yeah, we found some alright ones, to be fair. So, it was pretty good. We only looked through like one page, less than one page, actually. Yeah, so I was just too excited to talk to you guys than actually doing some sourcing. But we did cover OA here as well. So, that's another thing I'm trying to push a bit more. I'm going to be talking about that in my next video as well, a little bit. Well, it's kind of. But yeah, that's obviously something I'm pushing as well. And yeah, obviously I talked about my mentorship as well, which I'm starting. So if anyone wants mentorship, you can jump in on that. So it's half price the first 5 people. But yeah, no, it went pretty well. It's been a good stream so far. So I think I do need to mix it up a bit more from Qogita. I noticed the numbers a little bit meh on that. So I will definitely change it up a little bit. Either do some normal sourcing or do some just normal chatting. So I'm going to try and do Monday, Wednesday, I think, for these live chats on YouTube. I've told people, by the way, who want to go out for meals, things like that I'm not doing Monday, I'm not doing Wednesday, and I'm not doing Friday because that's when I play Xbox. So I've told all my friends, like, if you want to go out for a meal or Chinese or whatever, it's going to be Tuesday or Thursday because I'm trying to stick to a strict schedule of YouTube Live, and then Xbox. So Xbox has always been a Friday night thing. So, so I try to stick to that basically because I do enjoy doing these. I think it's good value to people, and yeah, overall it's just all round excellent. But yeah, so Empire saying had removed order 3 months ago because Amazon said perfume had the Lyle rubbish. God, yeah, it didn't. I had the same problem on a Paco Rabanne, a green bottle Paco Rabanne. I think it's just called Paco Rabanne, but I can't remember, or Pour Home Paco Rabanne, something like that anyway. They literally wouldn't accept it. They didn't have the product in it, even though I sent them the label. So I ended up withdrawing it, and there's another listing. So I'm interested to see which one you had. It's still been delivered, and Amazon said they won't reimburse because it's restricted. I'm out of luck. So you did a removal order 3 months ago because Amazon said perfume had lied up, but didn't. It still hasn't been delivered, and Amazon said they won't reimburse because it is restricted. Oh, that sucks. So it's been lost, essentially. That is terrible. I'd get opening a case on that one. Because essentially, the fact that it's restricted, it still doesn't mean they can just destroy or remove or lose your item. They still owe you the money for that. Didn't have Lyle in it as well. So, yeah, Brad, yeah. At Fridays, always the Xbox. I'm not a big gamer, to be fair. In fact, the older I get, the less I do game. But that's my time to play Xbox. So, yeah, that's the scheduled time. Has been for years now, actually. Friday nights. Yep, Destiny 2 every time. We don't play anything. We did play. What did we play in the past? We've played. Oh God, Titanfall. That was really good to play for a little while, actually. Titanfall 2. Then they cancelled it. So that was a really good game, actually. Massively underrated Titanfall 2. Hey Ali, how's it going? Thanks for joining us. Appreciate you coming on. We're just chilling out now, just answering any questions, talking about any old rubbish, really. But yeah, if you've got any Amazon questions, feel free to fire away. Throw them out there. But yeah, I'm here for another maybe half hour or so, or 20 minutes. I don't know exactly. But yeah, if you've got any questions. So we'll do the Destiny one first, and I'll get to you, Christiana. So Destiny 2, class, I'm Titan. I've got all 3 characters, but I don't play the other ones. I'm just Titan. Christiana, is your preferred strategy wholesale or OA or retail arbitrage? Also, do you stay away from Korean cosmetics if you sold any time on selling? Yeah, so I mainly do online arbitrage. I also do Qogita wholesale, so it's not full on wholesale where you actually have to call up suppliers, open up accounts, negotiate prices. I use Qogita, which is like a bit of a hybrid between online arbitrage and wholesale. It's pretty much like OA, I think, really, on an arbitrage. I don't do retail arbitrage anymore. I have done in the past. I think it can be a good way. It just takes up too much time for me. I don't have time to be going out and driving around all day for products. But that's just because my life's different now than it was 3 years ago. Without sounding like arrogant, it's just not worth it for me. But I've done it in the past. It was good fun. In fact, I really enjoyed retail arbitrage when you're driving on a nice sunny day, had the windows open, looping Sainsbury's, looping whatever. It was really good. But now, just don't do it really. But if something good comes up, maybe. In fact, I've had some really good retail arbitrage. I say that I've had some really good products in retail arbitrage actually in the past. So yeah, I should say that I'll maybe do it in the future. And then Korean cosmetics. Yeah, a lot of people get into those. To be fair, a lot of them come from Starvana. Come from there's another one as well. I can't remember now. You can't order from Starvana anymore because Amazon don't accept the invoices. I'd be very careful with Korean cosmetics. If you get them through Qogita, you'll be okay. If you get them through other suppliers, it's just whether Amazon accept those invoices, it's kind of an annoying thing. The only way you'll know is by asking other people if they had experience from there. Starvana used to be quite a big supplier you could order from. I've ordered from there before. Other people have, but Amazon don't like those invoices now. So try and avoid that brand. But yeah, essentially you can do it, but do it with caution. There's a lot of fakes as well floating out. That's the main thing, really, is can you prove the authenticity of the products you're buying? And have I sold any? Yes, I have. Yes, I've sold all sorts of Korean cosmetics. One of the ones I did back in the day when I was very first starting Amazon was some black rice harura, something or other. I think that's right, that brand. Trying to think what else. Some others as well, I don't know. That one specifically sticks in my head because I remember ordered 100 units from Starvana. And they sent it in 2 parcels of 50. What happened? One got lost. No, what happened? No, they didn't send 1 pack of 50. So I had to get refunded for that. And then the other pack of 50 got lost. So I never received any of them. But yes, some Korean stuff is very popular. Brad is 100% right. There was a face mask recently that I believe was Korean, was very popular. And a lot of that stuff is actually very popular. So if you can get it from a legitimate supplier, I would say go for it. Don't forget you got to pay import fees and stuff, unless you use Qogita, of course, in which case they cover all the import fees for you from Europe or whatever. But yeah, just don't factor that in. But yeah, it can be very popular, to be fair. So yeah, it is very popular brands. But yeah. yeah, Destiny, just play Titan. I'd really just literally play Friday nights, 3, 4, 5 hours or whatever. I don't really level my character up too much, focus anything on that really. Just chat with my friends and do whatever. Yeah, I don't have the time for all that kind of stuff really. In the past, I used to be quite into gaming. Now, I stick on business. That's where I try and focus my efforts, leveling up myself on business and things like that. So, leveling up myself. But yeah, so yeah. I feel like, yeah, I was watching an interesting video from a guy, I think it's Charlie Munger or Charlie something or other. He was saying how video games are just so bad for you, especially when you spend a lot of time on video games where you're like leveling characters up, thinking about leveling up, because it just takes brain power away from like business and stuff. Like if you're thinking about that all the time, you should be focusing on like work and stuff. I mean, that sounds so boring to be fair, but if you want to be successful, you want to be wealthy, you know, you pretty much have to work hard and, you know, and focus on business and leveling that kind of stuff up. So if that's your goal, if you want more of a work-life balance, which I have a terrible work-life balance, then fine, totally understand. But yeah, for me, yeah, just try and avoid those kind of stuff really. So Empire's saying you're creating a new business channel, you said in the previous stream. Yeah, I'd love to. I think that'd be a really good thing to do. I mean, business is my favorite topic. It makes me quite boring at times, to be fair. Obviously, if I'm talking to people that like talking about business, it's fine. But yeah, it's my favorite topic. I love talking about business. And something I want to do at some point is start a YouTube channel or something around business in general. So I don't know really. I do want to start another. I need to focus on actually FBA Mogul, getting that regularly, having videos coming out and stuff like that every week. And once I've got that focused down and done, I want to start another channel, because social media is just so huge. It's given me, honestly, FBA Mogul YouTube channel has given me a ridiculous amount of opportunities and things like that. So it's actually been, when you think I've only got 5,500 subscribers or 5,800 now, it's just insane the amount of money and opportunities I've had made from it. It's actually insane. So I do want to start one around business potentially. Another one I potentially want to do instead is just talking about how people can essentially replicate what I've done, taking the skill that they know, whether it be Amazon or it could be writing, creative writing. It could be whatever skill you've got that you're good at, and then basically figuring out how to essentially create a channel around that and monetize that. That's another thing I'd think about doing as well, because that's essentially what I've done. I took my Amazon skill. People ask me about it. I made channels around it. I made a community around it. I've only just started selling stuff, to be fair. You know, and that's obviously what people say is sell stuff, mention all that kind of stuff. But yeah, essentially teaching people how to do that and essentially monetizing a skill. It doesn't have to be something that you can like with Amazon. It could be something like, say, something like creative writing or, I don't know, pottery or something. You know, there's always people gardening. You know, people pay and watch this kind of stuff. So that's another thing I was thinking about as well, because I've learned a heck of a lot of about YouTube and things like that. And I think I've got a lot I can teach people. So even some quite experienced people I see on YouTube, I'm like, they're making big mistakes. But yeah, that's just a few ideas I've got anyway. I've got all sorts of ideas. Software as well is another big thing I'm thinking about as well. I'm also ramping up my Amazon business. You probably see why I've been neglecting Discord a little bit. It's hard to do it all really. So one thing, you know, I've got so much to learn about business. One big thing that I'm terrible at is outsourcing things to people and kind of letting go. I try and do it all myself. I'm really bad at team building and things like that, and trying to outsource these things to other people. So that's something I definitely need to learn. But we've all got things we need to learn. No one's perfect. But yeah, so business podcast, yeah, potentially podcast as well. Yeah, exactly. So although I ran into a guy in Dubai who said actually the best thing for podcasts is don't do your own one, because it takes a long time to build up. It takes, you know, costs a lot of money to run. Just be someone influential and go onto other people's podcasts. So, you know, and then from there you can still get content, you get the promotion, things which kind of makes sense, to be fair. But that guy's entire business was based around teaching people how to do podcasts, how to actually say good like snippets of information that can be like cut in shorts and stuff. It's really weird, but essentially like training people how to actually do a podcast and have good information they can release that can be like snippeted up and keep people engaged and stuff. So the amount of like knowledge and not science, but like thought that goes into these things, you think people just rock up to a podcast, but no. Well, some people do, I'm sure, but some of these guys, they pay this company a lot of money to learn how to do podcasts properly. It's kind of crazy, really. So, but yeah, it's interesting. Lots of ideas, there's not enough time. yeah, there's loads of opportunities to make money online. So take your money from Amazon when you make it, funnel it into other things. That's pretty much what I've done or doing. Made money on Amazon and moving it into other things. Obviously, still carrying on Amazon, but yeah, Amazon's the great wealth builder, I think. And then you can take that money and start funneling it into other things. So yeah, it's interesting actually. But yeah, but I like the social media side. I think social media is just so powerful. It's just insanely powerful. Just catch up with what's going on in the chat. Anything outside business takes away from your potential. If you tap into 100% of your potential, then anything like gaming, drinking. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're 100% right, Brad. Yeah. Sorry, Empire. So yeah. So obviously it's having that balance as well. But there's certain things in life that just like you shouldn't really focus on. Especially, I think this guy was saying with the video game stuff is like even like if you're constantly thinking about like leveling your character up, different strategies and stuff like that, then just taking brain power away from your business. I don't know. It's a bit like extreme, I suppose, but it does make sense to a certain extent. So, well, I don't exclude video games. I don't think too much about them. I just play on Fridays, whatever. I'm not thinking about leveling my character up or anything like that. I literally don't give a monkeys. I enjoy playing with my friends, enjoy chatting, but I don't have the best gear. I don't have the best loadout. Just whatever, really. Just play and just try and enjoy it, really. So it's good to one thing I'm trying to learn is actually how to stop working and actually relax. So it's definitely something I struggle with a little bit. But just like literally, just I don't know, sitting on the sofa and trying not to even like open Discord or just try and relax a bit and just like watch Netflix or whatever and just do that for like a week or so. Something I'm not very good at really. But yeah, so it won't be long. Ads on YouTube, buy my course. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but there's something I've always been very reluctant to do is the mentorship thing. I just feel like when you see this, it's like it just immediately like screams scam. But then saying that, I get people, literally like some guy came into my server and was like, "You're a scammer." I'm like, I don't even sell anything. It's like a month or two ago. It's like, oh, this guy's a scammer. If you want to learn how to do this properly, come to my server. I'm like, oh my God, you cannot even win. Like, I don't even sell anything and people calling me a scammer. It's just like, ridiculous. So you can't please everyone really. And you're always going to get people accusing you of that. But yeah, so, anyway, so I am doing the mentorship now. I just get asked, literally at the start of the stream, someone was like, mention mentorship. So, whether they actually want to pay for it, it's not a matter. But yeah, I get asked all the time. So I was talking to my younger brother about it, my friend about it. Like, you should just do it. Like, so offer it to people if they want to pay for it. So that's what I'm going to do. We'll see if I enjoy doing it. And if I don't enjoy doing it, I won't carry on. But I imagine I will. But yeah, so what I need to do though is get my numbers back up so I can actually people want to get mentorship from me, but they are growing slowly. It's actually kind of good growing my business, not from scratch really, but like, growing the business up again. Seeing it actually is quite a hard slog to get back up, get those numbers back up. But I have been handicapped by those auth claims a little bit. So in like 12, 13 days when that final one disappears, my numbers are going to skyrocket, I hope anyway, because I've got a ridiculous amount of stock in Amazon right now. So I've got £149,725 in Amazon. I'm pretty sure I've got to do some cost of goods actually from my latest batch going in. Yeah, I do. I've got 4 cost of goods to put in. Nothing too crazy though, to be fair. But yeah. Anyway, so cool. Any final questions for anyone or any comments with that? Otherwise, I'll call it a night. I'm gonna go and chill for a bit. I'm gonna watch some Rick and Morty, I think, and then go to bed. But Empire's saying mentorships get a bad rap, but if the mentor is good, then it can save the mentee years of mistakes. 100%. I think if you can pay for knowledge and you're getting good knowledge, 100% do it. I paid for knowledge with YouTube. I will happily pay for knowledge in many things now. If you've got the money to buy knowledge, buy knowledge. If you don't have the money to buy knowledge, then you have to buy it in some other way, and you buy it with time and lesson and learning yourself, basically. So, if you can do it with money, then definitely do it with money. It will save you time, and it probably even save you money as well. And you'll get faster results, really. But yeah, it's definitely. But yeah, it does get a bad rap, to be fair. So which is why I've been very reluctant to do it, because it's a big responsibility. It is like taking. So I want to do it for £3,000. First 5 people are going to be £1,500, but taking even £1,500 from someone, it's a big responsibility to then say, look, I'm going to mentor you for 3 months. That's a huge responsibility. Well, I think it is anyway. It's not something I take lightly at all. So just something new to give him a hard time about that. Yeah, oh God, that free course. Yeah, I'm gonna get to that at some point. Don't worry. At some point, I really need to sit down and do that. It's actually critical to my business plan, really, to get that out. So I really need to get a really killer course out there. But yeah, it's just honestly, course making is so time intensive. But I just need to focus on doing it. If I can just film like one, I mean, if I just film like one video every like week, and it'll probably be done by now. Given that I mentioned it like a year ago. But yeah, try and film like one a day or one every 3 days. That'll be good. It just takes so much time. But yeah. But yeah, I've been focused on other things that have brought in more money recently. So yeah. SXC bot. Oh god, okay. What SXC? What the hell was that? SXC. I thought you were going to mean subscribe and save, but yeah, it's not. I guess it's not that. So yeah, subscribe and save thing's kind of interesting actually. I'm sure some of you have seen that mentioned around here and there. Kind of interesting. How long has the free course been in the work? Like a year. Yeah, I actually filmed, I don't know, 5-10 videos. I don't know, maybe let's say 5 videos, probably in the first, I don't know, few weeks or whatever. Then it started getting to the harder stuff of like, and then I guess I just not done it. So, oh, sexy bot. Okay. Some reason I was thinking about subscribe and save there. So, yeah, that's been a very interesting development actually. So the subscribe and save glitch. Looking different with that hair. I know, exactly. Right. Yeah. It's getting a little bit long now, so I definitely need to get a haircut. But you can see I've still got the receding hairline. Look how far back it goes. So, yeah. Look at that. It's like goes halfway above my head. But yeah, anyway, so yeah, you need to get a haircut. But yeah, like the hair. Looks weird. Looks fake. Looks like it's a wig. Yeah. Jacob, when are you going to Dubai? Are you there right? No, you're not there already, are you? You're going soon, aren't you? So Jacob's going to Dubai. You know, he wants to emulate my lifestyle in Dubai, and yeah. No, you're going with some friends, aren't you? I think, like at the worst time. Tomorrow, nice. Okay, I assume you're flying Emirates first class as well. That'd be awesome for you. So all of you in first class, I'm assuming. And yeah, that'd be good fun, mate. So yeah, I enjoy the UK. To be fair, there's certain things. I mean, the weather's quite nice now. To be fair, It's nice to be back in some greenery. To be fair, Ryanair don't even fly. If you fly Ryanair to Dubai, probably like run out of fuel halfway there. She'll be swimming halfway. Yeah, I don't know. UK is good, but I've definitely noticed if like I don't know, there's like a depression around this country at the moment. It feels like I don't know. Just like went to Sainsbury's, there's not like a smiling face in sight. You know, it just seemed a bit weird, really. Maybe it's just my negative sort of impression. I don't know, but yeah, it felt a little bit depressing in like the shops and stuff. But yeah, maybe it's me really. But I think there is a bit of a dark cloud over the UK right now. To be fair, but yeah, so it's the fact the world is not exactly great right now, is it? To be fair, not just the UK, but yeah. Without getting too much into politics and stuff, what the Ukrainians did was pretty cool against Russia. So this is getting into a whole other thing, which could be quite dangerous. But yeah, Ryanair then was there. I don't know if you're joking, Jacob, or not. I don't know if you're joking. Why didn't you go Emirates? Are you joking? You should have gone Emirates, mate. A man of your means. God, private jet to be fair. But yeah, Emirates at least, or BA. Yeah. If you want to travel like the Ryanair of long haul, then go with British Airways. No, they're not too bad, really. They're not exactly great, but not as good as Emirates. But yeah. What do people do in Dubai? It just seems so hot. I don't know. What are you going to do there, Jacob? I guess if you like hang around the water and stuff, it should be okay. I don't know. What can you do? Just sit inside and look outside. You can go to beach parties and stuff like that, and I don't know, go to the mall, I suppose, and do indoor activities. You can eat out in the evenings. To be fair, it's not as long as you're not like walking around too much. British Airways, yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Mate couldn't hack the points and wasn't paying for him. Okay, fair enough. Yeah. Told a mate once from Ryanair he needed a quid for toilet. Oh my god, really? That is so funny. That is so funny. Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah. On the way back, I was peeing. They were giving me so much drink. Like every 30 minutes, they're bringing me a new Sprite. I was constantly in the toilet. It's kind of funny, really. She's like, "Have you got a problem?" I just keep giving me too many liquids. But yeah, the Emirates flight back was really nice. I kind of want to fly to Dubai just to fly back again because I really liked that flight. It was so good. Skipped the caviar. Didn't really fancy that, but I had the. And once they kept giving me food, and I was like, "Oh, I don't want any more food." So I had I had lobster to begin with. Starter, I had the steak. And before that at the airport, I had like a really nice eggs royale, like eggs benedict, what it's called. That was really nice. And then I was just so full, and I said, "Oh, they said, oh, do you want anything? We're about to land in like an hour and a half, and I said, do you want anything else?" I was like, "Oh, go on, I'll have like the scones or whatever, like a scone or two." And then she brought out like a whole what do you call it, like the lunch, sort of fancy lunch with like the sandwiches and the desserts and the scones, and laid it all out. I was like, "Oh my god, I'm so full." So I kind of ate half of it and then left half of it. I felt bad, but yeah, we talked about that earlier, Jacob. We're doing it when you're in Dubai, mate. So we're doing it deliberately when you're away. So yeah, keep the riffraff away. No, we'll do it. I need to ring up, and I'll try and arrange it I'm trying to give it at least a month so people have time to I don't know about it. But yeah, hopefully a month or two. But yeah, July, end of July. Not sure yet. I need to see when I can actually get the thing. But yeah, so doing skypool, bungees, jet skis. Yeah, it'll be good fun. What airport do you land at? UK airport seemed pretty. Yeah, Stansted. I flew in and out of Stansted. I'd say it was okay, but we literally landed. And then we're sat there, and the pilot comes on and says, "Yeah, the auto guidance for the gate has broken, so we've got to sit here and wait for some guy to turn up with the flags to wave us in." So we had to wait for that. It wasn't too long; it was only 5 minutes, to be fair. So, and you could actually, because they've got a camera, you can see ahead. You can see the guy waving his little flags and stuff. These little ping pong bats, basically. But yeah, that was typical. You arrive in Stansted, the first thing is broken, basically. But it wasn't too bad, really. One thing I did notice though is that my sort of priority bags were not a priority. When you when you fly Emirates and you land in Dubai, your bags, if you're first class, come out first, almost instantly. You have to wait 5 minutes at most. I was sat there at Stansted waiting for half hour before the bags came out. They obviously didn't give a monkeys about first class priority. In fact, they were probably kicking them around the runway a bit just to learn me a lesson before they put them on the conveyor. But yeah, so yeah, it was fine anyway. It's okay. I actually got in Dubai. Apparently I overstayed. I didn't do my visa right, so I got fined. I think £350, something like that. I think it was for overstaying. So I just totally messed up the visa. I thought you could have 90 days, just didn't do it correctly though. And you can have 90 days. To be fair, I just didn't actually get the right visa. Didn't actually get a tourist visa. So yeah, that was a bit bad. But yeah, any other weekend other than July 10th, 11th, 12th. Sure, I'll try not to do it then, basically. But yeah, we'll see how the first one goes, but I'd like to, in theory, run 3 or 4 of these a year. In theory, the Celeramp one should be coming up soon if they're going to do another one. Last time they kind of announced it quite late though. But yeah, hopefully they do another one as well. But yeah, I need to see if that's going to happen. But yeah, we don't want to do them back to back. If you want to be around more rich people in the UK, have you ever thought about going in London? Or do you not like the idea of getting your watch and phone stolen? No, and getting stabbed. I used to live in London. I lived in London for 2 years. I lived in West Hampstead. And I lived in Waterloo next to London Eye. Literally next to London Eye. But yeah, so I've done it before. That was a long time ago, to be fair. I'm not too worried about networking with rich people. I network with you guys on here, don't I? So, I get that to a certain extent. It actually is really good to talk to successful people, network with those kind of people. You actually learn a lot from people, but you can also learn from people that are not necessarily rich or wealthy. So, I get there is a certain element to that, which is quite good. The one thing I guess I regret not doing more in Dubai was I didn't do much networking, to be fair. So I just basically focused down. But yeah, networking could have been a better thing to do, to be honest. But yeah. Anyway, it is what it is. So I did meet some interesting people though. So but yeah. Harsh. How much is the Qogita price drops group. $59.99 I think it is per month, but you get a discount code FBA Mogul. I think gives you 25% off. Ish. I'm just gonna call you Ish tag. Yeah, if you look at the description, you've got all the links, all the coupon codes for this video description in there. You've got Qogita, you can get your £120 discount with the code FBA Mogul. You have to put it in during sign up or after you've signed up. You can put that code in. You've got your 30% off Arbysource as well with code FBA Mogul 30. You've got 25% off your Qogita price drops with code FBA Mogul. And you've got OA Hero, which is just £100 for lifetime. So yeah, all those things are in there. Just signed up to Warehouse Goblins. How quickly do they normally send out stock? Generally pretty quick, but obviously depends like how busy they are. I actually visited them on Friday. Chris was there, the guy who owns it. And yeah, sometimes they get a huge amount of stock in it. It takes a little bit longer, but generally pretty quick, like a day, two. Depends really. If you've really got something that needs to go in quickly, you're like, oh, I really need this one in quickly, just message him. But generally for me, they're pretty quick. So I obviously send a lot of items through Warehouse Goblins, like thousands of items. But yeah, they're pretty quick to be fair. And if you have got anything that needs to be done quickly, just message them. Yeah, absolutely. Give it a go, mate. Absolutely, yeah. So give it a go. It's run by my younger brother. It's really good to be fair. You can find deals on there. Find one deal, you're going to make your money back easily. If not, like 5x your money. But yeah. 24 hours is Chris Aim Empire, yeah. So yeah, I'd say, I mean, realistically, probably isn't 24 hours. I'll be honest, but it depends. Sometimes stuff goes in really quickly. Other times, I don't really look too much. I just see stock going in all the time. But yeah, so and obviously sometimes I send him thousands of units. So how many members in the group? Less than 50. Ish tag. Yeah. So in terms of paying people now, I'd say maybe 25. I'm not sure exactly. It's just to be fully clear, it's not my group, it's my younger brother's group, the Qogita Price Drops. So it's run by my younger brother. Where do I send my returns? I just throw them in the bin, mate. Just throw them in the bin. Yeah, there's nowhere to send them really. Just throw them in the bin. So yeah, don't make me ban you. No, Jacob runs a service called Returnify. So if you want to deal with your returns from Amazon, you can send them to him and he'll deal with them. So I've got 3 boxes there on the send you, mate, but you're buggering off to Dubai, so I can't send them to you. But yeah, so if you want to check that out with Returnify as well, but yeah, no more free shouts. So but yeah, anyway, it's a good service to be fair. So it's good to get your money back. So like to convert that like dead stock into money. So it's good. 5 minutes in Dubai, not in my shit. Yeah. Well, someone did crash into the back of my car. I was planning on sending it out like the last few days, and some sod crashed into the back of my car. So I couldn't send it out really. So it kind of sucked. But yeah, anyway. So new car now, so which is good. Just had dash cams fitted actually. So in case someone crashed. This time I've got a rear camera as well. So yeah. Yeah, exactly. So I just bought the same car again, basically, just 2 years newer, same color. It's just literally deja vu. It was actually a pretty good deal. So it was 2017 Ford C-Max. It done 23,800 miles, so it barely been driven. Same, it's titanium X, so it's got all the panoramic roof and all the fancy gizmos and stuff like that. Got CarPlay, Apple CarPlay, which is quite a nice feature actually. And yeah, it's cost me 10,600, so that was delivered. So which is pretty nice to be fair. So I just wanted something delivered when I was coming back from Dubai. I know that car because I had it before. I bought it from like a Vauxhall garage. Obviously, they probably took it as a trade-in. And yeah, I was like, I'll just deliver it. Yeah, so it just does the job. I actually talked about this in my latest driving vlog, but I was tempted to get something very fancy, but it's just a total waste of money. So I was just happy with this one. Does the job. It's got all the gizmos I need. It's got cruise control. It's got Apple CarPlay. It's not very quick, but does 0 to 60 in like 13 seconds or something. But yeah, so it does the job for me anyway. So maybe I'll get a fancy car at some point. But yeah, it's blue. It's the exact same metallic blue as the last one. Yeah, Brad. Yeah, same. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, living life on the edge. Same car, yeah, colour. Yeah, I know, right? When's the Aston Martin coming? I'm not gonna lie, I did look. Now Aston, it's just too expensive. I will get one at some point. I want either an Aston Martin. Basically, my budget would be, and it's not yet, I would probably do 100,000 on the car at some point and probably get rid of it after a year. I'd either get an Aston Martin for around 100k, like a second-hand one, or I'd get an Audi I really want an Audi R8. Yeah, one of those two probably would be one of the two that I'd choose. I was tempted by something like an Audi TT because you can pick them up for like 35k. You know, it's a good little sort of. It's a bit nippy, you know. It's not really a sports car, but you know what I mean. It's like it's a good little car. It's a hairdresser's car, as people say, but you know, I actually quite like TTs. It's good value for money, basically. The other thing I looked at was the Porsche 911, because again, you can get them for like 90, 100k. It's a total waste of money, though. Honestly, I'd rather have that 100k in business than like making me money than losing me money. But I said to myself, look, if I get something like an Aston Martin, I buy it from the Aston Martin garage. There's one in Nottingham. Get something from like 90 to 100k, get a year's warranty on it with service or whatever, and basically use it for a year, get it serviced, and then trade it back in. And if I lose 20 grand, then I consider myself lucky, basically, and just get that out of my system. That'll be the plan anyway. Who knows? But yeah. Well, Brad, there's what you want and then what's practical and what's realistic. So it's just stupid to buy something like that, really. So maybe if my Amazon business starts building up again, I start making more money on that, maybe I'll consider something like that. But for now, I'm not going to waste money on that. It's just so silly. My main priority right now is probably getting a house. So I looked at a house today. It was interesting. It was a 4-bed detached on the same place where I live now. It has a swimming pool, which they built themselves, and now currently looks like a pond. That's kind of interesting. I'm not sure if it looked really good from the pictures, but yeah, they've done a lot of work to it, but it's all been like DIY'd. So even the pool was built DIY, and that scares me a little bit. Now, I really wanted a house with a pool, but I'm not sure I'd get one that's got a DIY pool in it. And I say right now it looked like an absolute pond. It actually stank, to be fair. So it needs like a damn good clean. I don't even want to think about that, to be fair. The garage had been turned into like a studio for an Airbnb. Had aircon in it. Had what else I had built in? I can't remember. But yeah, it was all a lot of DIY stuff, which does scare me a little bit when it comes to buying that kind of thing. But it's been on the market for a while. Maybe they'll take a silly offer. We'll see. But yeah, that's kind of my next plan, really, is to try and focus on getting a house now rather than living in apartments. I want to build a separate studio, filming studio, a dedicated room for that, or two if I can, for filming, so I can really just focus down on doing my YouTube, stuff like that. That DIY port sounds exactly like a pond, yeah. So it looks good from the photos, and it looked good there, I guess, apart from the fact that it would look like a pond. But yeah, it's like I really like the idea of getting a pool, and it's very rare to find a house in that price range. So it's on the market for 420. At that price range, have a pool, but obviously they just built it themselves. It might be fine, to be fair, but I think they were better off filling that in, to be fair, than trying to sell it with a pool. But yeah, so yeah, they might take a silly offer. So who knows? Maybe in a 3 months or so, when my current property sells, I will make them an offer of like 3. I don't know. It's bodgy though, so it's a bit of a bodgy job. So maybe I won't, but maybe I could offer them 375 and just see what they say. Just say, yeah, I can take it. But we'll see. Really, it's an interesting one. It might have a pool, but that pool might need redoing. It's difficult, and it's not like I can get in and try it because it was absolutely. It looked literally. I'll be surprised if there weren't frogs in there. And newts and stuff. So yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah. So let me catch up with the chat anyway. You can get old Aston Martins for 30. Yeah, but the problem is Empire is obviously with all these cars, these expensive cars, the servicing and the maintenance costs a fortune. So while you save the money up front on buying that older car, if it needs a service or needs new disc brakes or whatever, then it costs you an absolute fortune. So you've got to be careful, which is why I kind of wanted to find one directly from an Aston Martin dealer, second hand. I know I'm paying a premium for it, but if I can get like a 12-month warranty on it or like a service package on there, then I can basically drive it for a year, almost risk-free, and trade it in or whatever, basically. So yeah, that's what I was thinking. Who knows though? So Tosef saying, how are you finding deals direct from wholesalers? I don't. I've signed up to a bunch of wholesalers, never found any good deals. So I think you've got to negotiate. I think you've got to. I was speaking to Chris at Warehouse Goblins about this. Basically, think you've got to you got to put in big orders over time, and you've got to negotiate to get the best prices. Because I was saying, like, some of the wholesalers I've signed up to, I get the price list and there's nothing there. There's nothing. So the only way I can think that you can make money is by potentially bundling stuff and making your own listings, or just like negotiating prices. But I think wholesale, I don't know. I'm not like an expert on wholesale really. Obviously Qogita, I do a Qogita, but it's not like pure wholesale. I just think the margins are super thin. I think it's a volume game. It's literally just a volume game. Is what it is, which Amazon is anyway, to be fair. But literally looking at like 40, 50p. Like I did find one, it was like 40p profit. But then I was like, well, I've got to pay prep, and I've got to pay, maybe it was 40p afterwards. I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember exactly, but it wasn't much. And I was like, and it wasn't even that fast selling. It was like 200, 300 per month with maybe 2 or 3 other sales on there. So I was like, I can get 100 sales per month. Yeah, I think I was looking at 30, 40p profit. I was like, I'm making 40 quid a month off this, and I've got to do wholesale orders. It's like, what's the point? What is the point? This seemed pointless to me. So I don't know. I've just never found really good wholesalers, to be fair. But I'm probably doing it wrong. I've definitely not focused a huge amount of effort on wholesale, to be fair. I've obviously focused most of my efforts on Qogita and not done pure wholesale. But yeah, maybe anyone who's doing wholesale, who's good at it, who, maybe you can put me wrong. We can jump on a call and you can tell me how wrong I am. I'd love to hear it, to be fair. So Toast's saying, are you solely Qogita? No, I do Qogita, I do Amazon to Amazon, I do online arbitrage. Those kind of 3 basically. I do all 3. So I was focused mainly on Qogita in Q4 last year. I've been doing Qogita still now, but I've been doing A to A again, and some OA here and there as well. So OA's definitely died down a little bit. Just don't have time to do it all. So but yeah. So Toast, are you using Qogita price drops? Are you using any kind of price drop service, or are you just scanning Qogita? Empire says, seeing people doing private label doing insanely good results. Absolutely, I'm seeing that as well. The one caveat I'm going to say to that is most people, although one of the guys did actually mention it, is they do not show their advertising costs, which are significant. I'm not saying you can't make good money on private label. That is Adam, I don't know if he's watching or not, does private label. But yeah, oftentimes 20, 30, 40%, sometimes even higher than that, of those profits are taken up by advertising costs. But yeah. So, and then Amazon's getting worse at that as well. But it's definitely a viable business model, 100%. So it depends what kind of private label you're doing as well. Another thing to factor in, not that I've done private label myself, but I know a lot of people that do it, is like Adam, for example. He might make 90% ROI, okay? But the thing takes 3 months to arrive from China. So you got 3 months in their ship where that money's tied up. And yes, when it gets here and he sells it, he does make 90% ROI. But you could also do OA and churn your money 3 times in that time. So you've got to factor in certain things here and there. So it's still a good model. I'm not poo-pooing it in any way. All I'm just saying is some of these numbers that people post, just got to take with a slight pinch of salt. But yeah, some of the times the advertising costs are ridiculous. So Qogita is like OA, it tanks 20, 30,000 listings after 2 weeks. Depends. You need to make sure you buy listings that have crazy amount of stock. Something you need to look at when you're looking at a listing. If it's got 10,000 stock, don't buy it. But yeah, or if it restocks frequently. See some guys doing PL against it. Yeah, they're definitely putting in the work on this. But yeah, exactly. Yeah, so PL it's definitely viable. Honestly, like, yeah, if you can do private label using UK stuff, that's probably the best method, because you don't have to wait for stuff to come from China. Like doing like unique bundles in the UK, I think is a really good method. If you can do that. I think that way you get the benefit of the private label. You also get the churn as well. But yeah, it can be good, to be fair. There is definitely some downsides, but it can be really good, to be fair. I probably should look into it at some point. I just don't have the time and the bandwidth to even think about private label right now. But yeah, there's some good results people are posting. Absolutely. So you have to more ore stock, then you want to meet me. Well, you just get slow excess stock. Yeah, you got to be careful, mate. Yeah, so I personally don't have a problem with Qogita. I order from there all the time. I've had no problems really. I mean, obviously sometimes things tank from OA as well. So yeah, just got to be careful. If you're running into issues consistently with a certain brand or certain seller or certain thing, just you need to learn from your mistakes as you go. I've definitely made mistakes on Qogita. I maybe ordered something. I thought I bought all the stock. Turns out they just restocked the same amount again, and then someone else did the same, and then before you know it, the listing's dead. Definitely had made that mistake, but you got to learn from it. It's not. You either that's all you can do really. All you can do is learn. But people are still printing money on there, and you need to really use something like Qogita Price Drop. I don't know if you've got it or not. I don't know if you're using it, but like someone like Thomas, for example, he's always messaging me because he's spent all his money on Qogita. He's already bought the really good leads, and when he finds another lead, he just messages me. But he's always finding crazy good leads on there because he's putting the work in, he's putting the effort in, and he's finding really good leads on there. Like really good ones as well. So, good thing about private is the barrier to entry, much harder to get into, so it filters out. Yeah, absolutely, 100%. Definitely don't recommend private label from new people. I don't recommend wholesale either from new people. But yeah, definitely don't recommend private label. That is a good barrier to entry, to be fair. You've got to get the trademark and understand more about Amazon, have more money potentially as well. Money's tied up a little bit more. So definitely not beginner friendly, I don't think. And yes, in that regard, it can be better to... it is a barrier to entry, and also the fact that you have to advertise as well, and you have your own listings is a barrier to stop people jumping on your listings. The only obviously caveat to that is that you have to pay to get people on your listings. If I sell a Nike trainer, then I don't have to pay for people to go onto listing. Obviously, with your own brand, you do. But obviously, on the flip side, you're making more money. You don't have to worry about tanking and things like that, basically. So you have other benefits. The things you have to start worrying about are, and I say Adam's run into this problem, my mate who does private label, Chinese sellers leaving you negative reviews, killing your listings, replicating your listings, people stealing your trademark, people saying that your item's like dangerous. There's another one as well. Oh yeah, someone fought the trademark, said that he didn't own the trademark on the product, and then Amazon were just like being absolute arseholes around it, basically. Something like that. I can't remember exactly what it was, but yes, you get really unscrupulous people. If you get a really good listing going, and start selling. Adam was ordering something from China from Alibaba, selling on Amazon FBA. The listing got to really good, really high numbers, and then basically all the Chinese sellers came on doing all unscrupulous things. I think he had to actually abandon that listing, one of the listings, because it just basically got inundated with Chinese sellers and he couldn't get them off. And they leave a bad review, it kills the listing. So I sound so negative, but yeah, just wanted to give you a balanced view of it. But I think it is a good business model, though. Don't get me wrong. Qogita should offer a premium subscription, no MAV and early access. Well, suggest it to them, yeah. But what do you mean early access? Oh, yeah, I guess they could do early access price drops, yeah. Yeah, maybe. I don't think they do the price drop one, but they might do no minimum order value or something like that. You could mention it in there. They've got a server. You can go on there. You can suggest stuff. They're always open to new ideas, to be fair. So, you definitely could do that. Right, guys, I'm going to wrap it up there. We've been streaming for 2 hours and 12 minutes. It's been awesome. I appreciate you guys coming on. I'm going to wrap it up, but have a good evening, guys, and I will be back on Wednesday, same time, 8 p.m. Thanks, guys, for watching. I really do appreciate it. I'll see you guys on the Discord for chatting there, and otherwise I'll see you on Wednesday on the next live stream. And thanks to OA Hero for sponsoring this stream.